Chapter 375. Countless gazes landed on the area around the arena platform. 36 silhouettes stood or sat on the stone platform, with the silhouettes of vermilion birds hovering behind them, exuding a baleful aura. These 36 people would be the most influential characters in Granxia in the future. Unless they were pushed off the heavenly fate rankings, they would remain in the top 10. Old man Tianji's countenance was as calm as ever as he stared at the crowd. Chun Wang Sherpatian Si Cheong Zhan Chun, Emperor Azure, Qin Zheng, Yunmangi Mufeng Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng. The 10 of you are temporarily ranked in the top 10. The remaining 26 will be ranked according to the amount of ancient luck obtained by the vermilion birds. Wang Ju will be ranked 11th. Hua Xiaoqing will be ranked 12th. As the sound of old man Tianji's voice faded, the crowd turned their gazes onto the vermilion birds behind them. If they wanted to change the rankings, they could only do so through battle. For the ranking battle this time around, we shall proceed from the bottom to the top. Starting from the bottom, you will challenge those in front of you. If you win, you will replace the previous ranking and have the opportunity to continue challenging them. If you lose, your ranking will be fixed and you can challenge those above you. Old man Tianji continued, at this moment, the 36 of you will be ranked 36. Xiao Du, you will be the first to challenge anyone you wish. Xiao Du was a member of the Xiao faction of the Nine Mystical Palace. The Nine Mystical Palace had high hopes for him when he participated in the ranking battle for the Heavenly Fate rankings. Not only that, he didn't disappoint them and managed to enter the Heavenly Fate rankings. Although the Heavenly Fate rankings only had a ranking of 36, he just so happened to be ranked last. His silhouette flickered as he gracefully landed on the arena platform. His gaze was incomparably sharp as he stared at the crowd below. Among the 35 people before him, he had fought against many of them before and knew that they were all extremely powerful characters. He didn't have the confidence to challenge any one of them. Finally, Xiao Du's gaze landed on Qin Wentian. This person was someone the Nine Mystical Palace wanted to capture, but who would have thought that he would disregard the safety of the Emperor Star Academy, choosing to participate in the Heavenly Fate rankings instead. What was even more surprising was that Qin Wentian had once been humiliated by Luo Qianqiu, and only after that did he rise up in anger and defeat Luo Qianqiu. At that time Xiao Du was already extremely famous in the Nine Mystical Palace. He wasn't someone that Luo Qianqiu could compare to, and now Qin Wentian, whom he wouldn't even spare a glance at in the past, had actually managed to obtain a position within the top 10. Other than those who had clashed with Qin Wentian, they didn't know what had happened to the others. Xiao Du naturally didn't see Qin Wentian's tyrannical performance. As a heaven's chosen of the Nine Mystical Palace, he was naturally extremely arrogant. At this moment, his eyes gleamed with sharpness, as if he wanted to give it a try. If he defeated Qin Wentian, wouldn't he be able to directly enter the top 10? If he defeated Qin Wentian, then even if he was defeated by others, he wouldn't fall too far. This was an opportunity. Qin Wentian's aura was only at the 8th level of Yuanfu. Even if Qin Wentian's mandate had broken through to the 2nd level, he should still be able to contend against him. Qin Wentian, get the hell up here. Xiao Du stared at Qin Wentian. It was as though a sharp sword had pierced through him. Qin Wentian inclined his head, his demonic eyes sweeping over to Xiao Du in an instant. Xiao Du felt his heart trembling when he saw Qin Wentian's eyes. However, he was also an extraordinary character. How could he allow Qin Wentian's gaze to affect his will to battle? Damn. There were those from the Nine Mystical Palace in the hallway. Never would they have imagined that Xiao Du would challenge Qin Wentian in his first battle. They had personally witnessed what happened in the Vermilion Bird Formation. Although Qin Wentian's cultivation base was only at the 8th level of Yuanfu, he still had the combat prowess to contend for the top 10 rankings. Xiao Du was far from being able to defeat him. Qian Mengyu also arrived with those from the Green Cloud Pavilion. When she saw this scene, she couldn't help but shake her head. This Xiao Du had overestimated his own capabilities. The disparity between the two of them was simply too great. They were simply not on the same level. Qin Wentian's silhouette flickered as he landed on the arena platform. His gaze swept over to Xiao Du as the coldness in his demonic eyes instantly seeped into him. Instantly, Xiao Du felt his entire body turning cold as he howled in agony. Die! Xiao Du howled as his astral souls erupted forth. His silhouette dashed towards Qin Wentian as he blasted out with his palms. It was as though an ancient thunderbolt had descended, directly imprinting itself onto Qin Wentian's chest. However, Qin Wentian's chest seemed to be protected by a terrifying energy, preventing his palm strike from penetrating it. This defense. Xiaodu's countenance stiffened. He felt as though his palm strike had landed on an ancient demonic beast with an incomparably high defense. The defenses of demonic beasts were all exceedingly high. This was especially so for demonic beasts like the Golden Rock demonic beast, the Herculean Ox demonic beast, or the Golden demonic ape. At this moment, the feeling that Qin Wentian gave Xiaodu was as though his attack had landed on the body of a terrifying demonic beast. Inclining his head, Xiaodu saw a pair of cold demonic eyes staring back at him, as a chill seeped into his heart. Pong! A terrifying force slammed into his chest. Xiaodu only felt his ribs shattering as his body was flung out of the arena platform before slamming heavily onto the ground. With a groan of misery, he coughed out a mouthful of fresh blood. When he inclined his head, he only saw that Qin Wentian didn't even bother to glance at him. Qin Wentian had already returned to his original location. Such a scene caused Xiaodu to feel shame in his heart. This was a battle of shame. Xiaodu, ranked 36th on the Heavenly Fate rankings. Old Man Tianji waved his hands as a resplendent ranking board floated in the air. The words Heavenly Fate were engraved on it, while the words Xiaodu were engraved at the bottom. Xiaodu ranked last. Qin Wentian is proficient in strength and defense. Without a second-level mandate, there's no need to fight him. The spectators mused. Qin Wentian should be able to obtain a position within the top 10. He who had stepped into the 8th level of Yuanfu already had such combat prowess. After which, another silhouette stepped onto the arena platform. This time around he didn't challenge those who were ranked too highly, but rather he chose to challenge those who were ranked near him. However, the result of the battle was still a loss, and his ranking was fixed at the 35th position. The battles continued on, and as the rankings continued, the silhouettes on the platform grew stronger and stronger. At the very end, even Xian Yan of the Mystic Maiden Palace was defeated, and her ranking was fixed at number 20. Her previous ranking was number 17, which meant that Xian Yan's ranking had actually dropped by 3 places. Next, it was the 19th ranked Peng Zhan who challenged the 17th ranked Ouyang Guangxing. The result of the battle caused the spectators to be extremely surprised. Ouyang Guangxing had an absolute advantage in terms of astral souls, and in addition to the fact that he had comprehended a second-level mandate of flames, as well as the power of his bloodline limit, he defeated the berserk Peng Zhan. Ouyang Guangxing's ranking was temporarily fixed at the 17th position, while Peng Zhan's ranking was fixed at the 19th position, after which the 18th ranked Yao Jun stepped onto the arena platform. His countenance was extremely unsightly as he stared at the silhouettes below. This time around, Yao Jun had high hopes for the Heavenly Fate rankings, hoping to obtain a position within the top 10. But now, he felt a sense of trepidation in his heart. The top 10 were Chen Wang Shirpatian Xiqiong Zhanchan, Emperor Azure, Qin Zheng, Yunmanyi Mufeng Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng. These 10 were all extremely powerful. Even if it was Qin Wentian, Yao Jun had personally witnessed how terrifying he could be. The one who was the weakest was actually Mo Qingcheng. As for the 11th to 17th ranks, they were Wang Ju, Hua Shaoqing, Yancheng, Li Yu, the black-robed figure, Leng Hong and Ouyang Guangxing. Wang Ju, Hua Shaoqing, Yancheng and Li Yu. Other than Hua Shaoqing, the other 3 were all ranked within the top 10 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings. But now they were all squeezed out of the top 10. However, this didn't mean that they were weak. As for the black-robed figure and Leng Hong, they were both dark horses. Yao Jun had personally witnessed their battles, and knew that they were extremely powerful. As for Ouyang Guangxing, he had personally witnessed his battle with Peng Zhan earlier. He had no confidence that he would be able to defeat Ouyang Guangxing. Drawing in a deep breath, Yao Jun's gaze finally landed on the black-robed figure. The strength of the black-robed figure was still a mystery to him, so he could only gamble on this battle. I'll choose you. Yao Jun stared at the black-robed figure as a terrifying demonic qi gushed forth from him. His palms transformed into a terrifying demonic palm imprint, somewhat similar to Qin Wentian's fiend transformation art. Only, it wasn't as tyrannical as the fiend transformation art. The silhouette of the black-robed figure flickered as he landed on the vermilion bird arena. The devilish chi around him churned unceasingly. It was no longer a secret that this person cultivated the devil arts. Right now, the cultivation base of the black-robed figure was already at the 9th level of Yuanfu. Compared to the first time Qin Wentian met him, he was much stronger. Qin Wentian was also paying close attention to this battle. He had always been curious about the identity of the black-robed figure. Yao Jun's demonic form gave off a sense of terror, while the black-robed figure exuded a tyrannical aura. Both of them were surrounded by a violent current of qi. Howling sounds echoed out as Yao Jun released his astral souls. These were all demonic beast-type astral souls, capable of amplifying his attacks. His speed was extremely fast as he instantly dashed towards the black-robed figure. The black-robed figure didn't evade. He too rushed forwards. Yao Jun's countenance stiffened as a cold smile flickered in his eyes. Die! A terrifying demonic light manifested in his palms as he directly blasted out. The speed of his attack actually increased explosively, instantly slamming into the black-robed figure. This scene caused the countenances of the spectators to freeze. Yao Jun's countenance stiffened as he stared at the black-robed figure with an expression of shock on his face. She who cultivated the devil arts was actually a woman? An incomparably violent demonic energy gushed into the body of the black-robed figure. Yet the eyes of the black-robed figure were as cold as ice. She acted as though nothing had happened as she blasted out a black-colored palm imprint. The terrifying devil palm imprint contained a terrifying demonic qi, as it directly slammed into Yao Jun's head. With a thunderous boom, Yao Jun was instantly killed. A cold light flickered in the eyes of the black-robed figure as she walked down the arena platform, not saying a single word. Earlier, did he convert the demonic qi into his own attack? The spectators were all extremely shocked when they saw that. Yao Jun's attack was extremely terrifying, yet he actually disregarded it completely. Not only that, he actually converted the demonic qi into his own attack. How tyrannical was this? Who was this person exactly? Why did he kill Yao Jun out of anger? The countenances of those from the Sky Demon sect turned ashen. Yao Jun was ranked number 13 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings. Yet now he had actually fallen, let alone entering the top 10. He didn't even have the chance to touch the top 10. The ranking battle this time around was simply too intense. Chapter 376. The death of Yao Jun caused countless people to be in shock. A terrifying existence ranked number 13 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings had actually died in the hands of a mysterious black-robed figure. At this moment, no one knew who the black-robed person was. They didn't even know if he was a man or a woman. However, since this person cultivated such a powerful demonic art, he was most likely a man. Now that one of the Heavenly Fate rankings had fallen, the next person to replace him would be Ouyang Guangsheng. Currently, there were only 17 names remaining, with Ouyang Guangsheng ranked last. Ouyang Zheng, who was originally ranked in the top 10, was stuck at number 20 on the Heavenly Fate rankings due to his slow improvement in strength. But now, Ouyang Guangsheng is actually ranked in the top 17th. The changes are truly too great. If you don't improve, you are destined to be surpassed by others. Now, Ouyang Guangsheng has become the true leader of this generation of the Ouyang aristocrat clan, officially surpassing Ouyang Zheng. After which, Ouyang Guangsheng challenged the dark horse Leng Hong. The two of them battled against each other and Ouyang Guangsheng defeated Leng Hong. After which, he challenged Li Yu of the Thousand Ju Alliance, who was originally ranked number 9 on the Heavenly Fate rankings. In the end, he was defeated and Ouyang Guangsheng's ranking was fixed at number 16. Because his ranking didn't advance any further, Leng Hong, who was defeated by him, was in an extremely miserable state. He didn't even have the chance to challenge Qin Wentian, and his ranking was fixed at number 17. Both dark horses had reached the end of their paths. After that, it was the black-robed man's turn. Instantly, many gazes landed on him. Could the black-robed man still advance? The black-robed man stepped onto the vermilion bird stage. His gaze slowly turned around and finally landed on one person, causing everyone's eyes to freeze. Boo! The voice of the black-robed figure was somewhat hoarse. His finger was actually pointing at Mo Qingcheng. The black-robed figure challenged the #1 beauty of the heavenly fate rankings, Emo Chingcheng. When others faced Emo Chingcheng, they would all show some respect. Because she was too beautiful, no one could bear to trample a flower. This was the first time someone directly challenged Emo Chingcheng. Not only that, it was a black-robed expert who cultivated devil arts. Qin Wentian's countenance stiffened as a look of bewilderment appeared on his face. He had never expected that the black-robed figure would challenge Emo Chingcheng. He still had a good impression of the black-robed expert. The black-robed expert had helped him before, but he didn't understand. Why would he choose Emo Chingcheng? Emo Chingcheng's silhouette flickered as she landed on the arena platform. She was like a celestial maiden descending from the heavens, captivating the hearts of the spectators. Just looking at her was a form of enjoyment. Her body glowed with a mystical light, causing her to be exceptionally dazzling. The black-robed figure didn't say anything more. Devil might gushed forth from her, incomparably terrifying. In the air the devil might churned unceasingly, causing Qin Wentian to frown. He was somewhat worried for Emo Chingcheng. At this moment, Emo Chingcheng's hands folded into ancient seals. Her entire body was enveloped by a holy radiance, and as she basked in the radiance, she seemed even more like an immortal from the mortal world. Such a woman shouldn't exist in this world. How beautiful, what a halo of holiness. Not only that, her astral soul is extremely rare. It even has a celestial fairy shadow. This was the first time Emo Chingcheng unleashed her strength, and the impact it gave off was immense. It was too beautiful, causing people to be in a trance. In front of her a 9-colored glazed flame floated, as the silhouettes of 2 astral souls appeared behind her. One was the shadow of a celestial fairy, while the other was the glazed flame. The 2 astral souls stacked on top of each other. That celestial fairy's shadow held the glazed flame, so beautiful that it caused people to be dazzled. This scene caused Qin Wentian to sigh in his heart. It has been a few years since he last met Chingcheng. She was still as innocent and beautiful as ever, just like the snow maiden from back then. However, Qin Wentian seemed to have forgotten that right now. She was the heavens chosen of the Pill Emperor Hall. In front of others she was unreachable, as pure and holy as a celestial fairy. How could her strength be weak? She had also obtained ancient luck and was one of the top 10. One of them exuded boundless devil might, while the other was like a celestial fairy. The contrast was intense. The black-robed figure finally made his move. His silhouette lunged out as a terrifying devil palm imprint slammed down, causing rumbling sounds of thunder to ring out in the air as his devil might engulfed this entire space. Emo Chingcheng's palms trembled as the 9-colored glazed flame transformed into 9 petals that floated forward. A terrifying heat wave gushed forth, gushing towards the black-robed figure. The terrifying devil might actually retreated slightly, as though it feared the 9-colored flames. Emo Chingcheng's movement technique was exquisite. She abruptly dashed forward. The flames arced through the air in a beautiful arc, shooting towards the black-robed figure's face. The black-robed figure placed his palms in front of him and abruptly pressed them together, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. After which a devil palm imprint blasted out, capable of annihilating everything. Break! Emo Chingcheng coldly snorted. The 9-colored flames actually penetrated through the devil palm, continuing towards the black-robed figure's face. This caused the eyes of the black-robed figure to stiffen. His black robes fluttered as the 9-colored flames directly drilled into his robes. Careful! Qin Wentian suddenly felt a sense of unease. His black robes started burning, but there was no sign of the black-robed figure. He directly appeared beside Emo Chingcheng, clad in a terrifying devil armor. A black-colored devil palm imprint descended from the sky, slamming towards Emo Chingcheng. Emo Chingcheng's silhouette flickered as she transformed into a blurry shadow, giving off a blurry feeling, as though she was in the void. The great calamity! A cold and hoarse voice filled the air. The figure of the black-robed man also seemed to turn into nothingness, about to disappear without a trace. Such a scene was extremely shocking. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The Vermilion Bird Arena platform trembled violently as the 9-colored flames flew back. The two of them collided in a frenzy, and a thunderous sound echoed out as their silhouettes separated. After which, the spectators saw the black-robed figure enveloped in devilish chi. Emo Qingcheng was panting slightly, yet the halo of light around her seemed to be able to heal her injuries. An instant later her aura stabilized, and she was as pure and holy as ever. The black-robed figure inclined his head and stared at the sky. In an instant devil might gushed forth, causing rumbling sounds to echo out. It was as though numerous ancient devils were standing in the air. The chaotic devil art of the heavenly devil art caused the skies to change color. How tyrannical, what kind of pain would one have to endure to cultivate such a devil art? The hearts of the spectators trembled. For a devil cultivator, the stronger the cultivation art, the more dangerous it would be. In fact, even if one cultivated it smoothly, they would still develop a devilish nature. A heavy expression appeared on Emo Qingcheng's face. Both her hands formed ancient seals as a resplendent halo of light enveloped her. Numerous illusory figures appeared, making it impossible to tell which one was the real Emo Qingcheng. Boom! The black-robed figure stepped out as devilish lightning descended from the sky. A towering devilish might swept across the entire Vermilion Bird arena. And with every step the black-robed figure took, his aura grew even more terrifying. Qin Wentian's heart tightened as a cold light flashed in his eyes. No matter who it was, he wouldn't be able to harm Emo Qingcheng. The spectators stared intently at the arena platform. This was the most violent battle they had ever witnessed so far. Towering devilish might envelop the skies as the number of Emo Qingcheng's illusory figures increased. Rumble! Finally, the black-robed figure unleashed his most terrifying attack. The devilish might of the heavens and earth converged together, slamming downwards. Countless devil palms and terrifying long spears manifested as they smashed downwards. Emo Qingcheng let out a shrill cry as the glass flames erupted forth, causing a resplendent glow to appear on the arena platform. Pung! A terrifying sound of collision rang out as the spectators only saw Emo Qingcheng and Emo Qingcheng's silhouette being flung through the air, while the black-robed figure remained standing in his original position. Emo Qingcheng coughed out a mouthful of fresh blood as her countenance turned as pale as paper. She sat cross-legged and swallowed a medicinal pill, allowing the glow of her astral soul to envelop her body, recovering her aura. The black-robed figure stood there unmoving, as drops of fresh blood dripped from his wounds. He was still clad in his black robes. "You've won." Emo Qingcheng spoke in a low voice as she stared at the black-robed figure, only to see that the black-robed figure's countenance was devoid of emotions as he turned and walked down the arena platform. Emo Qingcheng also left. However, this battle had left a deep impression on the spectators. Regardless of the black-robed figure or Emo Qingcheng, both of them were so powerful. The black-robed figure didn't choose to continue challenging. This time around, she directly replaced Emo Qingcheng's position, entering the top 10. Emo Qingcheng had lost a battle and was squeezed out of the top 10, becoming ranked number 11. Only 15 people remained. The top 5 were Emo Qingcheng, Wang Ju, Hua Shaoqing, Yan Cheng and Li Yu. Li Yu of the Thousand-Ju Alliance had no choice but to challenge Yan Cheng. In the end he was defeated and was ranked number 15 on the Heavenly Fate rankings. Yan Cheng fought against Hua Shaoqing and was defeated. His final ranking was number 14. Hua Shaoqing fought against Wang Ju and was defeated. His final ranking was number 13. Those who challenged those ranked higher than them were actually extremely rare. Now it was Wang Ju's turn. His ranking was temporarily number 12, and those ranked higher than him were all extremely terrifying characters. The battle between Emo Qingcheng and the black-robed figure had already left a deep impression on the spectators. In the end, the black-robed figure defeated Emo Qingcheng. Wang Ju didn't have absolute confidence in winning. On the arena platform, Wang Ju's gaze was as sharp as a divine weapon. He swept his gaze over to the remaining 11 contenders. He, Wang Ju, had to step into the top 10. If he wanted to enter the top 10, he had to defeat at least one of them. Chen Wang, Sherpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chen, Emperor Azure, Qin Zheng, Yun Mengyi, Mu Feng, Qin Wentian and the black-robed figure. Wang Ju was ranked number 6 on the Heavenly Fate rankings. Now, how could he not even step into the top 10? Where would he put his face? Chen Wang, Sherpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chen and Emperor Azure were all eliminated by him. Qin Zheng was mysterious and unfathomable. Yun Mengyi was similarly mysterious. Mu Feng was originally ranked number 7 on the Heavenly Fate rankings, one rank behind him. However, Mu Feng's proficiency in poison was something Wang Ju wasn't willing to antagonize. Qin Wentian had overwhelming strength and defense, while the black-robed figure had an incomparably tyrannical cultivation art. Since he had to choose one, the person he chose was none other than Qin Wentian. Wang Ju's gaze was like a divine weapon, penetrating through everything, landing on Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian seemed to have sensed Wang Ju's gaze. He inclined his head and stared at Wang Ju. "Come on up," Wang Ju indifferently stated. Qin Wentian stepped out, instantly landing on the arena platform. It seemed like he was still one of the easiest contenders to deal with. Wang Ju had chosen him. "You will be the stepping stone for me to enter the top 10 of the Heavenly Fate rankings. You have no hope at all in this battle." Wang Ju's astral soul erupted forth as a brilliant radiance shone from him. His body was actually clad in a layer of divine armor. This wasn't a divine weapon, but it seemed to be a divine weapon. His palms were also as sharp as a divine weapon. Wang Ju from the Wang clan of the War Continent was as though his entire body was forged from a divine weapon. In that case, both his offense and defense would be extremely terrifying. The reason why I chose you is because regardless of offense or defense, I will suppress you completely. You won't stand a chance at all. Wang Ju stepped out as a sharp qi gushed forth, enveloping the entire arena platform. Wang Ju's eyes were filled with a boundless battle intent. He couldn't be defeated, he couldn't afford to be defeated. He had to win this battle, he had the confidence to do so. The eyes of the spectators flickered as they stared at Wang Ju. Maybe his choice was right. Qin Wentian's strength and defense were unparalleled. But Wang Ju's entire person was akin to a supreme divine weapon. Clad in a set of divine armor, he wouldn't be any weaker than Qin Wentian. Wang Ju wanted to trample on Qin Wentian, entering the top 10 of the Heavenly Fate rankings. Chapter 377. Wang Ju, a heavens chosen from the Wang clan of the War Continent, was originally ranked number 6 on the Heavenly Fate rankings. If he couldn't even enter the top 10 today, how humiliating would that be? The spectators stared at that sharp silhouette, only to see him walking towards Qin Wentian. Every step he took caused the sharpness of the heavens and earth to converge upon him. Astral light revolved around him, and the vermilion bird shadow that hovered behind him let out a shrill cry. He would definitely win this battle. After defeating Qin Wentian, he still needed one more victory before he could enter the top 10. Now, there were still 12 participants remaining, and 2 of them had to be eliminated. The spectators stared at Wang Ju. They could feel his confidence in his victory. His astral souls were all divine weapon astral souls that amplified his attacks. Although he appeared to be advancing slowly, every step he took was filled with an overwhelming might. Once he unleashed an attack, it would definitely be earth-shattering. Would Qin Wentian be able to withstand Wang Ju's attack? At this moment, Wang Ju's entire person seemed to have transformed into a supreme divine weapon. Although Qin Wentian's physique was as terrifying as an ancient demonic beast's, Wang Ju was incomparably sharp. Not only that, the mandate he had comprehended was also a divine weapon astral soul. As long as one was at the Yuanfu realm, regardless of whether one was a human or a demonic beast, there was no defense that couldn't be broken through. However, when facing Wang Ju, Qin Wentian naturally wouldn't be so arrogant as to directly use his body to withstand Wang Ju's attack. Although he casually stepped forward, the feeling he gave off was akin to an ancient pine tree that wouldn't fall, or a towering mountain. An intense light radiated from Wang Ju. His entire person was like a divine weapon, piercing towards Qin Wentian with an indomitable might. At this instant, Qin Wentian finally stepped out. With just a single step, the might of the heavens and earth congregated around him, as though he was one with the heavens and earth. This simple action of his was akin to borrowing the power of the heavens and earth. Qin Wentian only felt Wang Ju's eyes fixated on him. As a beam of light shot out, "You won't be able to block me." As soon as Wang Ju finished speaking, a bright light shone. At the same time, Qin Wentian's palm also blasted out. Strength. Although Wang Ju could suppress him in both strength and defense, then he would just have to compete purely in terms of strength and the strength of his martial will. On the arena platform, a resplendent beam of white light pierced the eyes of the spectators. When they regained their vision, they saw that Qin Wentian was still standing there unmoving, while Wang Ju retreated to the edge of the arena platform. Blood flowed from the corners of his mouth, and his countenance was pale. "How can your attack suppress me?" Qin Wentian slowly stepped out, moving towards Wang Ju. Yet with every step he took, he gave off a feeling that his movements were as natural as the heavens. Wang Ju paled when he saw Qin Wentian nearing him. That clash earlier had shattered his confidence. Wang Ju saw that Qin Wentian was getting closer. Yet he didn't know how to deal with it. He had always been proud of his strongest attacks, but now that his attack was being suppressed, how could he deal with Qin Wentian? Step by step, Qin Wentian's demonic qi surged. That devilishly handsome countenance of his gave off a sense of helplessness. With a flick of his palm, 18 spears appeared before Wang Ju. He coughed out a mouthful of blood as the spears buzzed, as though they had come to life. A fearsome mandate was infused into them, as they buzzed incessantly, as though they wanted to tear apart the heavens and earth. Bzzz golden light flashed as a pair of golden rock wings appeared behind Qin Wentian, exuding a sense of sharpness. Qin Wentian's silhouette flickered as he vanished from sight. Wang Ju's countenance drastically changed as he coughed out another mouthful of blood. He punched out with his palms, as the 18 spears exploded forth. However, at the same time, a beam of golden light streaked through the spears, emitting a terrifying sound. In just an instant, Wang Ju discovered that Qin Wentian had already appeared before him. A dragon imprint slammed down, akin to the roar of a true dragon, causing the heavens and earth to tremble unceasingly. An expression of panic appeared on Wang Ju's face. He gathered his strength, transforming his palms into divine weapons as he frenziedly retaliated. However, as the roar of the dragon rang out, its might shook the heavens and earth. Rumble terrifying sound waves engulfed the area as Wang Ju's body was instantly blasted to the point where he spat out a mouthful of blood. Qin Wentian stood calmly on the Vermilion Bird Arena platform, exuding boundless demonic qi. The crowd stared at his silhouette, their eyes filled with shock. That devilishly handsome face of his gave off an unfathomable feeling. Just a casual glance at him would cause the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Right now, Qin Wentian's mandate of demons had reached the second level, the third level of the fiend transformation art. With a single thought, he could form a pair of demonic wings. With a single thought, he could transform into a demon. Not only that, this transformation wasn't like the demonic divinity sacrificial transformation art, it was reversible. Naturally, Qin Wentian's attacks were even more terrifying than before. Back then, he could execute the 81 demonic innate techniques as he pleased. Wang Ju, rank 12, Old Man Tianji slowly announced, causing the gazes of the spectators to turn to the ranking board floating in the air. Wang Ju's name landed beside the rank 12. Once he was ranked 6th on the Heavenly Fate rankings. Now he was ranked 12th. Although this was somewhat ironic, one could imagine how terrifying the Heavenly Fate rankings this time around were. Wang Ju, who was ranked 6th, couldn't even step into the top 10. Since Wang Ju was defeated, it was now Mo Qingqing's turn. Because she was defeated by the black-robed figure, she was temporarily ranked 11th. Since the top 10 didn't have a ranking yet, if she wanted to enter again, she would have to defeat one of the top 10 before she could enter the top 10. However, how difficult would it be? Chen Wang, Sherpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chun, Emperor Azure, Qin Zheng, Yun Mengyi, Mu Feng, Qin Wentian, and the black-robed figure. Initially, the spectators thought that Qin Wentian would be easier to deal with. However, Wang Ju was completely crushed by Qin Wentian, causing the spectators to re-evaluate the combat prowess of the top 10. There were no weaklings among them, and none of them were able to determine their final rankings. All of them were too terrifying. Since you have ancient luck, if I were to let you fight against one of them, you would definitely be unsatisfied. In that case, I will give you a chance to be ranked the same as them. At this moment, Old Man Tianji suddenly spoke, causing expressions of shock to appear on the faces of the spectators. After which, they nodded their heads slightly. At this moment, the remaining 11 were the true elites of the Heavenly Dipper tournament. If Mo Qingqing were to challenge any one of the top 10, there was a possibility that she would make a mistake. Old Man Tianji might have given Mo Qingqing a chance on account of her great luck. Hence, he decided to give her a chance. This might be unfair to Wang Ju and the others, but who would dare to doubt that Old Man Tianji was willing to give Mo Qingqing a chance? Now, the remaining 11 would be fighting for the final rankings. Next, I will announce the battles. The 10 of you will fight against each other 50-50. Chen Wang was ranked second in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings, so he will be exempted from this round. For this round, the 5 victors will join Chen Wang in the top 6, while the 5 losers will be temporarily placed in the bottom 5. However, the bottom 5 will still have a chance to challenge the top 6. If they win, they will replace the top 6, and if they lose, they will have no choice but to fight for a spot higher than the 6th rank. Old man Tianji stared at the crowd as he spoke. Everyone could accept the fact that he would allow Chen Wang to be exempted from this round. Chen Wang was the one who was favored the most. After all, he was originally ranked second in the Heavenly Fate rankings, with the exception of Hua Taishu. Shi Patian against Qin Zheng, Si Qiong against Mu Feng, Zhan Chun against Yun Mengyi, Emperor Azure against the black-robed figure, Qin Wentian against Mo Qingcheng. Old man Tianji's announcement caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Every single one of the battles was so powerful that it could stir the hearts of the spectators. However, it seemed that old man Tianji had put a lot of thought into this arrangement. Shi Patian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chun, Emperor Azure, and the others were favored. They didn't have to fight against each other, but as for why he arranged for Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng to be in the same group, it caused many to be puzzled. Maybe it was a random choice by old man Tianji, and there wasn't any deeper meaning behind it. The first battle, Shi Patian against Qin Zheng. The first battle was a battle between heavyweights. Qin Zheng had fought against Chen Wang before in the Vermilion Bird Formation grounds. Not only that, he wasn't completely suppressed by Chen Wang. He was extremely powerful and was able to control the will of the Mandate of Space. Arranging for Shi Patian to be in the same group as him, one couldn't help but say that this would definitely be an extremely fascinating battle. Those from the Shi clan all had the bloodline of an ancient demonic beast in their veins, making them incomparably tyrannical. Shi Patian stood on the Vermilion Bird arena, exuding a tyrannical aura. Chen Wang, Shi Patian, and Si Qiong were the top 3 contenders for the ranking battle this time around. All of them were extremely powerful. Qin Zheng stood on the Vermilion Bird arena platform, yet he exuded a carefree aura. His demeanor had always been like this, extremely casual. Boom! Shi Patian took the initiative to attack. The ancient demonic beast bloodline in his veins erupted forth, and in an instant, a golden dragon-shaped armor covered his body, incomparably majestic. A golden long spear appeared in his hands. Pung! Shi Patian pierced out with his spear, causing the roars of dragons to shake the heavens. It was as though a golden demonic dragon was roaring. This is the ultimate art of Grand Xia that the Shi clan has mastered. Out of the 9 ultimate arts, the Golden Dragon battle art is the only one that's suitable for demonic cultivators to cultivate. This is the Golden Dragon battle art. The might of this battle art is boundless, with terrifying attacks and a golden dragon-shaped armor for defense. The members of the Shi clan all possess the bloodline of ancient demonic beasts, making them the most suitable to cultivate this art. This Shi Patian has clearly immersed himself in this art for many years. This spear strike caused the roars of dragons to reverberate through the heavens. The spectators instantly understood that this was an ultimate art of Grand Xia, one that had been passed down to the Shi clan all this time, just like the Great Solar Universe art of the Great Solar Chang clan. Qin Zheng was most probably in danger. The two of them engaged in a frenzied battle on the Vermilion Bird arena platform. Qin Zheng's spatial laceration attacks were also extremely terrifying. He was actually able to slash apart the golden dragon-shaped armor and injure Shi Patian. Not only that, Qin Zheng's speed was also extremely fast, and his dodging abilities were also extremely strong. If it wasn't for Shi Patian's terrifying strength, he would have long been defeated. But even when fighting against Shi Patian, Qin Zheng wasn't suppressed at all. Fascinating. Such a battle is simply too fascinating. Not only that, none of the following battles would disappoint the spectators. This is what a true pinnacle battle should be like. The spectators exclaimed in admiration when they saw the battle between the two of them. This was too fascinating. Since Shi Patian was so powerful, how could Chen Wang be weak as well? The final battle, the battle for the top 3 positions, how magnificent would it be? How much anticipation! Chapter 378. Shi Patian fought against Qin Zheng with an earth-shattering might. Sure Potion's attacks were ferocious and tyrannical, while Qin Zheng was proficient in many different innate techniques. Not only that, he was able to unleash them perfectly. Although Qin Zheng's attacks were weaker than Sure Potion's, he still wasn't defeated. Finally, at the instant the two of them came into contact with each other, astral energy abruptly erupted. Terrifying astral soul shackles materialized around Qin Zheng's body, instantly coiling around Sure Potion's body, as though wanting to bind a dragon. Qin Zheng's body erupted with a powerful spatial light as a gust of wind swept past, manifesting a resplendent dimensional void soared in the air. Slash! Qin Zheng coldly roared. In that instant it felt as though space itself was about to be sliced apart. The gazes of the crowd turned to Sure Potion, wondering if he would be able to withstand this attack. Sure Potion's eyes gleamed with a terrifying sharpness. He didn't evade, it was as though he was waiting for that attack to land. Busy. Abruptly, Qin Zheng's attack landed, but Sure Potion's silhouette had already vanished into thin air. After which, Qin Zheng's countenance drastically changed. Wind energy enveloped him as he retreated with extreme speed. Pung! A terrifying force slammed into Qin Zheng, sending him flying through the air. While he was still in the air, he coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood. Stabilizing himself, Qin Zheng stared at the arena platform. His aura fluctuated wildly as blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. There was no anger in his eyes, no shame of defeat, only calmness. Earlier, was that the ultimate art of Grand Xia you exchanged for? Sure Potion stood on the arena platform, staring at Qin Zheng as he calmly replied, "You should be proud of yourself for being able to fight to such an extent. Given your strength, you still have a chance to enter the top 6. As for that attack earlier, it was the only ultimate movement technique of Grand Xia. Not only that, it only has a single stance, stellar transposition." Indeed, stellar transposition. No wonder. The hearts of the crowd trembled. Other than the Golden Dragon battle art, Sure Potion had also comprehended stellar transposition. How terrifying would his combat prowess be now? Although the stellar transposition was only a single move, it was able to instantly change one's position. This move required a terrifying amount of astral energy to be able to be unleashed. Although Sure Potion seemed to have gone berserk, he was actually extremely cautious. He had been guarding against Qin Zheng all this while, which was why he chose to unleash the stellar transposition at the most crucial moment. In a battle of life and death, such a movement technique could sometimes save one's life. Sometimes it could even reverse the situation and kill the opponent. Although Sure Potion seemed to be stronger than Qin Zheng had many tricks up his sleeves, forcing Sure Potion to use revolving star passage to win. In this case, Sure Potion's ranking was temporarily in the top 6, and Qin Zheng's ranking was temporarily in the bottom 5. However, with Qin Zheng's strength, he still had a chance to enter the top 6. Next, the second battle was between Si Qiong and Mu Feng. The instant the two of them stepped onto the arena platform, the hearts of the spectators that had just calmed down were once again filled with excitement. Si Qiong was the strongest dark horse in the heavenly fate rankings, while Mu Feng's temperament had undergone a drastic change. How intense would their battle be? Do you think you can escape by refusing the deal? Si Qiong stared at Mu Feng as a cold light flashed in his eyes. A powerful might gushed forth from him as he lunged towards Mu Feng. What Si Qiong was referring to was naturally Mu Feng's refusal to exchange the secret arts of Grand Xia for the 9 ultimate arts. Other than the 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia, the secret arts of Grand Xia were all extraordinary as well. They had always wanted to obtain them, but who would have thought that the vermilion bird formation of Grand Xia would obstruct them? Not only that, their supreme experts didn't dare to destroy the vermilion bird formation so easily. If the vermilion bird formation destroyed everything within it, everything would become nothing. However, the power he was in was extremely patient. So what if it took a few thousand years? To some of the elders, they could still afford to wait. Now that the constellation fate of Grand Xia had changed, the power he was in sent here to Grand Xia. How could they possibly fail? Just like what the supreme experts had predicted, after the constellation fate of Grand Xia changed, the ranking battle for the heavenly fate rankings had also changed. The ancient luck of the vermilion bird formation had appeared, but the formation was destroyed. Since that was the case, he naturally had to obey the order to obtain the secret arts of Grand Xia. How naive were these people to think that they could stay behind? Xiqiong clearly didn't put Mu Feng in his eyes. In his eyes, Mu Feng and the others had no hope of escaping. Nobody would be able to stop them. These people were simply courting death. Mu Feng's countenance was calm as he stared at Xiqiong. Boom! The will of the mandate of blood erupted forth, causing Xiqiong to feel the blood in his body trembling. He coldly laughed as a resplendent light radiated from him, as a terrifying heat emanated from him, akin to the Great Solar Universe art. That's the Great Solar Universe art. The spectators were all stunned when they saw this scene. Xiqiong was also proficient in the 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia. A golden ancient sword appeared in Xiqiong's hands. Stepping out, he slashed out with his sword, causing it to descend from the heavens. It was as though the heavenly sword had blossomed, blazing flames burning the heavens. Heavenly swordplay, Great Solar Universe art. Old Man Tianji and the rest felt their hearts trembling when they saw this scene. Although they knew that these people had obtained the complete 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia, they still couldn't help but sigh in their hearts when they saw how easily Xiqiong could unleash the 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia. Mu Feng's silhouette flickered as he waved his palms. Instantly, a pitch-black poisonous palm imprint blasted out, exuding a terrifying and sinister aura. Sizzling sounds rang out as the palm imprint was instantly torn apart. Xiqiong's palms trembled as the terrifying heat of the sun incinerated the poisonous palm imprint. His silhouette was like the wind as he continued chasing after Mu Feng, slashing out with his sword once more. A resplendent light flashed as Mu Feng was forced to retreat repeatedly. If it wasn't for the fact that he was proficient in the mandate of wind, it would have been extremely difficult for him to evade the might of the heavenly swordplay. Xiqiong's silhouette landed on the ground. His lips trembled as a voice drifted out, resembling a melody. The melody transformed into terrifying runes, transforming into a formless energy that drilled into Mu Feng's eardrums. Mu Feng furrowed his brows as he felt a splitting headache, as though even his soul was trembling. Xiqiong stepped out step by step. The melody continued to corrode Mu Feng's body. Mu Feng's long hair fluttered in the wind as he stared at Xiqiong, only to see Xiqiong's silhouette flickering as he slashed out with his sword once more. Mu Feng retreated once more. Swish! A beam of blood splattered onto the arena platform, forcing Mu Feng into a corner. The melody continued as Xiqiong walked towards him step by step. A soul attack technique. The hearts of many in the crowd pounded. This Xiqiong was too terrifying. They suddenly realized that Chen Wang wasn't the most terrifying existence in the heavenly fate rankings. Not only did Xiqiong specialize in the ultimate arts of Grand Xia, he also had such a terrifying soul attack technique. The soul was an illusory existence. Yuanfu realm cultivators wouldn't even be able to sense the existence of a soul. However, Xiqiong had a terrifying talent related to the soul, which was why he was able to cultivate soul attacks. At this instant, Xiqiong's silhouette vanished as an intense astral light erupted forth. Stellar transposition. Xiqiong's silhouette instantly appeared in front of Mu Feng, his palms directly grabbing onto Mu Feng's head. His lips trembled unceasingly as the melody drifted into Mu Feng's ears. This scene caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble violently. How powerful! This dark horse Xiqiong was simply too terrifying. What was he doing? Soul search. It's rumored that there are people who are proficient in soul manipulation techniques that can search the soul of others. Xiqiong is searching Mu Feng's soul. For those whose souls are searched, there's a possibility that they would become a retard, a cripple. The countenances of Qin Wentian and the rest all flickered with a cold light when they saw this scene. They understood what Xiqiong wanted to do. He, Mu Feng and Mo Qingcheng, Yun Mingyi and Qin Zheng had all rejected those people. Was Xiqiong planning to deal with them like this? Not only that, Xiqiong's strength was truly terrifying. Qin Wentian stared at Mu Feng on the arena platform. Mu Feng's family had been murdered. Could it be that he would die before the culprit was found? If Xiqiong obtained what he wanted, he definitely wouldn't spare Mu Feng. Chi-Chi. On the arena platform, Xiqiong's arm abruptly started to corrode. After which, the corrosion frenziedly spread throughout his entire body. Black chi appeared on his face as Xiqiong's countenance abruptly changed. After which, from Mu Feng's body, a terrifying stream of black blood gushed out. Boom! Terrifying astral light flashed as Xiqiong executed stellar transposition once more. His silhouette shifted backwards as he stared at his arm, his countenance turning ashen. Mu Feng opened his eyes, only to feel an intense pain in his head. He coldly glanced at Si Qiong before turning and stepping down the arena platform. Although he was heavily injured, he was still as calm as ever, so calm that it was terrifying to look at. Nobody could stand so close to Mu Feng, not even Si Qiong. His silhouette was like the wind as he instantly descended the arena platform and sat down cross-legged. Rays of resplendent light enveloped his body as he began to expel the poison from his body. Evidently, he didn't have it easy in the earlier battle. The victor of this battle was naturally Si Qiong. He was ranked within the top 6, and his strength had left a deep impression on the spectators. And as for Mu Feng, although he was defeated, he also left a deep impression on the spectators. The third battle, Zhan Chen against Yun Mengyi. The instant Zhan Chen stepped onto the arena platform, his eyes flickered with a terrifying self-confidence. His gaze flickered with a golden light as he stared at Yun Mengyi. "What's your relationship with Qin Wentian?" He still remembered back then when he chased after Qin Wentian, Yun Mengyi and the black-robed figure had interfered. "It has nothing to do with you," Yun Mengyi calmly replied. A sharp astral sword appeared in her palms as a terrifying frost intent gushed forth from her. "I won't kill you." Zhan Chen stared at Yun Mengyi as he stepped out. "I know the heavenly swordplay as well." As the sound of his voice faded, a golden sword appeared in his palms. With a flick of his palm, the golden sword seemed to be borrowing the light of the heavens and earth, incomparably dazzling. Rays of golden light enveloped Zhan Chen's body, transforming into an indestructible golden body. His silhouette flickered as he dashed towards Yun Mengyi. In Zhan Chen's eyes a resplendent light erupted forth. That was a golden blade piercing towards Yun Mengyi. Instantly, Yun Mengyi felt a piercing pain in her eyes. It was as though there was a golden silhouette in her opponent's eyes, wielding a sharp sword punishing her. Yun Mengyi slammed out with her palms as a terrifying frost energy froze everything in its path. She didn't retreat, on the contrary. She took a step forward as the heavenly swordplay descended. 9 swords intertwined, the might contained within was incomparably terrifying. Zhan Chen was still staring at her. Yun Mengyi's forehead was drenched in cold sweat, but her sword wouldn't show any mercy. Puchi! The sword slashed downwards, slamming into Zhan Chen's body. The golden body seemed to have split apart, yet the spectators discovered that Zhan Chen was fine. The golden body seemed to be an illusion. His sword similarly slashed out as a cold and sharp smile flickered in his eyes. Blood splattered, dyeing Yun Mengyi's robes red. Yun Mengyi's body was flung through the air. Qin Wentian waved his palms as a surge of energy enveloped Yun Mengyi's body, allowing her to land on the ground. Inclining his head, Qin Wentian stared at Zhan Chen, who was standing on the arena platform. Zhan Chen walked to the edge of the platform and was similarly staring at him. Zhan Chen's sword was pointed straight at Qin Wentian. The smile in his golden eyes was filled with demonic self-confidence. Chapter 379. How is this possible? Earlier, Yun Mengyi's sword strike had clearly landed on Zhan Chen's body, even shattering his golden body. How could he be unharmed? The battle between Zhan Chen and Yun Mengyi ended in the blink of an eye. Even after Yun Mengyi was injured, the spectators still couldn't understand how Zhan Chen was able to defeat Yun Mengyi unscathed. This Pill Emperor, who was ranked number 11 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings, gave off an unfathomable feeling. Even Wang Ju, who was ranked number 6, was eliminated so easily, yet this Pill Emperor had temporarily stepped into the top 6. Zhan Chen was also a powerful dark horse, and he was extremely terrifying. This ranking battle was getting more and more unfathomable to the spectators. Right now, each and every contender was so strong that it was unfathomable. Gradually, they revealed their true strength, revealing their sinister countenances. Nobody knew what their trump cards were, even up until now. Qin Wentian stared at Zhan Chen. He could clearly feel the killing intent Zhan Chen had towards him. The grudge between the two of them had never been resolved. And not only that, back then, Qin Wentian had revealed Zhan Chen's scandal, causing Mo Qingqing to despise him. One could very well imagine how deep Zhan Chen's hatred for Qin Wentian was. Today, on the Heavenly Fate rankings, Zhan Chen wanted to let those from the Pill Emperor Hall see Let Mo Qingcheng see how he tortured and killed Qin Wentian. Today, in the ranking battle, his name would resound throughout Granxia. Turning, Zhan Chen's silhouette flickered as he walked down the platform. Zhan Chen was temporarily ranked in the top 6, while Yun Mingyi was ranked in the bottom 5. The next battle was between Emperor Azure and the black-robed figure. Emperor Azure was ranked number 5 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings. Today he was ranked number 3 among the top 5 contenders. The other two were Chan Wang and Sherpa Tian. This person, Emperor Azure, had always been extremely mysterious. No one had ever heard of which clan or power he came from. He was the most low-profile ranker in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings, and this time around he was still as low-profile as ever. However, no one dared to ignore his existence. As for the black-robed figure, he was similarly mysterious. Nobody knew where he came from, not even his real name or whether he was a man or a woman. Naturally, everyone was looking forward to the duel between the two. The two of them stood on the arena platform as the silhouette of the vermilion bird let out a low roar. Emperor Azure had a smile on his face, exuding a carefree aura. He stared at the black-robed figure as he stated, "Since you're participating in the Heavenly Fate rankings, why don't you show us your true face?" The black-robed man ignored Emperor Azure. He stared at him as a devilish might gushed forth from him. "Today I shall experience your demonic arts." Emperor Azure stepped out as his silhouette transformed into a series of afterimages. Abruptly, several incarnations of Emperor Azure appeared on the arena platform, all of them blurry and indistinct. It was as though there were many incarnations of Emperor Azure, and each of them wielded a sharp sword in their hands. Emperor Azure's phantom sword art. His mandate of illusions is terrifying to the extreme. When he uses the phantom sword art, who would be able to differentiate reality from illusion? Emperor Azure's swordsmanship was astonishing. With a single strike, the illusory figures all erupted with a terrifying sword might as they shot towards the black-robed figure. Devilish chi coalesced around the black-robed figure as he brandished a long spear in his hands. His palms trembled as he executed a tyrannical spear technique, suppressing the incoming sword lights. However, Emperor Azure's swordsmanship was superior in terms of quantity. The illusory figures also transformed into a sword as they slashed towards the throat of the black-robed figure. The black-robed man was clad in an armor of the devil path. Terrifying devil might converged above his head as a fearsome pressure permeated the air. After that, he blasted out with his palm as a chaotic devil might swept through everything, causing all the illusory figures to explode. The black-robed figure didn't even bother to differentiate reality from illusion. He only focused on using his tyrannical attacks to destroy them all. However, how could Emperor Azure be so easy to deal with? His silhouette soared up into the skies. In the eyes of the black-robed figure, it was unknown how many Azure Emperors appeared. They borrowed the astral light of the heavens and earth as their swords shimmered resplendently. Is this the heavenly swordplay? Emperor Azure cultivated the heavenly swordplay? However, it doesn't seem like it. He isn't as pure as Yun Mingyi. The spectators only saw the heavenly swordplay appearing as the black-robed figure inclined his head. Devilish lightning crackled as a terrifying devilish might permeated the air, crushing everything. His black robes fluttered in the wind as he stepped out, exuding an incomparably terrifying aura. The spectators only saw terrifying devilish long spears appearing before the black-robed figure. As he blasted out, the long spears pierced through the skies, annihilating everything. When the black-robed figure fought, no one could see his will of mandates, nor could they see his astral energy. The only thing they could see was the boundless devilish might he exuded. Emperor Azure's sword slashed downwards as his astral souls appeared. The first astral soul was the sword-type astral soul, while the second was the evil-eyed astral soul. His eyes turned demonic as he stared at the black-robed figure. Sword light flashed once more, but in an instant, a silhouette abruptly appeared beside the black-robed figure, slashing out with a sword. Is that stellar transposition? Astonishment and shock appeared on the faces of the spectators. How could Emperor Azure know so many ultimate arts of Granxia? He wasn't someone from the 7 ancient clans of Granxia. Or more accurately, that wasn't the heavenly swordplay or stellar transposition. Poochie. A light sound rang out as the robes of the black-robed figure were dyed red with blood. He retreated as he coldly stared at Emperor Azure. At this moment, Emperor Azure's demonic eyes grew increasingly demonic, becoming exceedingly terrifying. His third astral soul from the fifth heavenly layer appeared, the Blood-Winged Devil Ape. Ranked number 2 in the War Beast Index, the Blood-Winged Devil Ape. Expressions of shock appeared on the faces of the spectators. The mysterious Emperor Azure actually possessed such a powerful technique. The eyes of the black-robed figure were as cold as ever, as though he didn't care about the injury on his arm. The chaotic heavenly devil might erupted forth, as the entire arena platform turned black. A terrifying black-colored devil dragon coiled around his body, before transforming into a terrifying devil saber. The heavenly devil saber. The black-robed figure walked towards Emperor Azure step by step. At this moment, the aura emanating from him caused Emperor Azure to feel a trace of fear in his heart. Boom! Demonic chi enveloped Emperor Azure's body, causing it to become incomparably terrifying. A violent aura gushed forth from him. Fiend transformation art. Qin Wentian's gaze froze when he saw this scene. Emperor Azure had actually cultivated the fiend transformation art as well. According to the Azure Emperor, the fiend transformation art shouldn't have been passed down to those from the D clan. Why did Emperor Azure cultivate it? Only to see Emperor Azure staring at the black-robed figure with a cold countenance. He had been anticipating this ranking battle for far too long. How could he fail this time around? Boom! Stepping out, Emperor Azure's body was enveloped in a terrifying demonic armor. Every step he took caused the entire arena platform to tremble. However, the expression of the black-robed figure didn't even change. His devil saber whistled through the air, exuding a terrifying devilish might that caused the spectators to tremble. 9 slashes of the purgatory. Some of the transcendent powers had some understanding of the chaotic heavenly devil art. When they saw the devil saber slashing out, they knew that this was the incomparably tyrannical 9 slashes of the purgatory. The black-robed figure slashed out the first saber strike, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. As the saber slashed out, the spectators saw a devilish might sweeping past them, as though a demonic dragon from hell had appeared. Emperor Azure stood on the arena platform, similarly punching out with a terrifying might. His punch transformed into a demonic fist that swept out with terrifying might, shattering the devil saber. However, the devilish might grew even more terrifying. The 9 slashes of the purgatory, each slash stronger than the previous, all the way until a purgatory was formed. The second and third saber slashed out, causing the hearts of the spectators to pound unceasingly. The black-robed figure was incomparably calm, but his aura was already frenziedly circulating. It was unknown how many more saber strikes he could endure. Emperor Azure's entire person transformed into a terrifying blood-winged ape. The palm imprints he blasted out were akin to the chaotic heavenly devil art, shocking the spectators. The two of them frenziedly clashed against each other, using offense against offense. When the fourth saber strike appeared, the heavens and earth changed color, transforming into a world of darkness. The black-robed figure coughed out a mouthful of blood, yet he still managed to slash out with his saber. Roar! A thunderous roar echoed out, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. The blood-winged ape unleashed his strongest attack, sweeping away everything in its path. The devilish might and demonic chi caused the entire arena platform to turn pitch black. However, within that pitch-black devilish might, the spectators could see a purgatory devil dragon. That devil dragon transformed into a saber. The purgatory devil dragon saber slashed out with the fifth saber strike. A thunderous sound echoed out as the spectators saw Emperor Azure's demonic form plummeting downwards, ruthlessly slamming into the ground. On the arena platform, the devil's saber in the black-robed figure's hand vanished as the devilish might he exuded dissipated. The black-robed figure's footsteps were somewhat unsteady as he walked down the platform step by step. The black veil covering his face was also stained with blood. Yet in such a terrifying battle he had won. He had defeated the 5th-ranked Emperor Azure of the previous Heavenly Fate rankings. How powerful was he? After this battle, the black-robed figure had officially established his position as a supreme expert. There wouldn't be anyone who dared to challenge him anymore. Emperor Azure reverted back to his original form. His eyes filled with a sense of bewilderment. He had been defeated, he had actually been defeated. Why was that purgatory devil's saber so terrifying? Was the chaotic art of the heavenly devil truly the most tyrannical ultimate art in Granxia? The price to pay for cultivating the chaotic art of the heavenly devil was the greatest, and the danger was also the greatest. Yet, the might of this art was something that everyone could see. Who? The spectators drew in a deep breath, no longer thinking about it. Next, it was time for the fifth and final battle. Qin Wentian against Mo Qingcheng, the heavens chosen from the Pill Emperor Hall, the most beautiful maiden on the heavenly fate rankings. Even in Granxia, there weren't many who could be compared to her. Would Qin Wentian be able to defeat her? The two of them walked up the arena, facing each other. Mo Qingcheng's flawless figure was reflected in the eyes of the spectators, causing them to involuntarily sigh in admiration at the wonders of the Creator. She stared at the young man in front of her, as a smile appeared on her face. This smile of hers was so beautiful that it seemed to be able to stun even time itself. Mo Qingcheng smiled as she looked at Qin Wentian. Astonishment appeared on the faces of the spectators, as they couldn't understand. Shouldn't the two of them be engaged in a battle? They then turned to look at Qin Wentian, only to discover that Qin Wentian was smiling as well. It was a gentle smile, as though he was looking at a lover he doted on. You finally reached this step. Mo Qingcheng smiled lightly, as she spoke in a gentle voice. Her voice was incomparably gentle, as though she was speaking to the person she loved the most. I've always believed that you would be able to do it. Mo Qingcheng's long hair fluttered in the wind. The spectators only saw Qin Wentian slowly walking up to her, placing his hand on her forehead, gently stroking her hair. Mo Qingcheng lowered her head slightly, like a shy young lady. She actually allowed Qin Wentian to do this. Stretching out his hands, Qin Wentian held onto Mo Qingcheng's hand, right in front of the eyes of the spectators, their hands entwined together. Qin Wentian had said before that he wanted to announce to the world the relationship between him and Mo Qingcheng during the ranking battle. She was his woman. Chapter 380. The Vermilion Bird Arena Platform, the location of the heavenly fate rankings. On the arena platform, Qin Wentian's gaze was resolute, while Mo Qingcheng's eyes were filled with a smile. This moment was the happiest she had experienced in the past few years. Once, she was a carefree young lady in Chu, pure and innocent. It was only until she met Qin Wentian that she experienced the taste of love. It was both sweet and bitter, and her heart was always filled with longing. Until Hua Xiaoyun arrived in Chu, everything was broken. She was brought to the Pill Emperor Hall, becoming the heavens chosen of the Pill Emperor Hall. She was the center of attention, pursued by countless men, yet she wasn't happy. From the pure and innocent young lady, she became someone who sealed her heart. Until Hua Xiaoyun arrived in Chu, everything was broken. She was brought to the Pill Emperor Hall, and became the heavens chosen of the Pill Emperor Hall. Countless people pursued her, yet she wasn't happy at all. From an innocent young girl, she chose to seal her heart. Until Hua Xiaoyun arrived in Chu, everything was broken. She was brought to the Pill Emperor Hall, becoming the heavens chosen of the Pill Emperor Hall. Countless pursuers pursued her, yet she wasn't happy. From an innocent young lady, she became someone who sealed her heart. All these years, although her alchemy skills and strength grew stronger and stronger, she wasn't happy at all. Until she heard the news of Qin Wentian. But what was more painful was the fact that they couldn't be together. At this moment they stood on the arena platform facing the world. Qin Wentian held her hand. She didn't feel any shyness, nor did she feel any fear. In her heart, there was only conviction and courage. She and Mo Qingcheng had no regrets. Qin Wentian was also incomparably resolute. He knew that the people of the world looked down on him. When it came to Mo Qingcheng's lover, they would only consider Hua Taishu, Zhan Chen, and the others. Today he wanted to announce to the world that he was Qin Wentian, and Mo Qingcheng was his woman. Just like that, the two of them held each other's hands tightly, facing the world and bearing all the consequences. They had no regrets. How could this be? The crowd didn't dare to believe their eyes. How could this be? Mo Qingcheng was the most outstanding female in Granxia in recent years. Why was she holding hands with Qin Wentian? Why were they together? This seemed to have let down the expectations of the crowd. Wasn't Emo Qingcheng supposed to be with Hua Taishu? She and Qin Wentian had known each other for a long time. Not only did they know each other, but they also fell in love with each other. Those from the Pill Emperor Hall stared at the arena platform. Luo He's countenance was extremely unsightly to behold. She had given Emo Qingcheng everything, yet Emo Qingcheng didn't listen to her. Bai Fei stared at the two of them as she sighed in her heart. Back then when she first met Qin Wentian and Chu, never in her wildest dreams would she have imagined that there would be a day like this. He actually dared to hold Emo Qingcheng's hand in front of the entire Grand Xia. Not only that, it was on the battle platform of the Heavenly Fate rankings. A cold glint flickered in Zhang Chen's eyes, emitting a strong killing intent. There were simply too many people who didn't wish Qin Wentian and Emo Qingcheng well. They didn't think highly of these two people, or in other words, they didn't think highly of Qin Wentian. Although Qin Wentian was already very outstanding, they couldn't help but feel that it was still insufficient. Those from the White Deer Institute stood together. Bai Lu Yi and Bai Lu Jing stood together. Staring at the two silhouettes of the White Deer Institute, Bai Lu Yi's beautiful eyes flashed with a smile of blessings, yet there were hints of tears in them. He has finally held her hand. Standing together in front of the world, Bai Lu Yi murmured. A long time ago, she had heard Qin Wentian telling her about this story. Now that she saw this pair of lovers, she truly wished them the best. They would definitely have a perfect ending. Bai Lu Yi's lips curled into a carefree smile. Although he had been eliminated long ago, he didn't seem to mind it at all. He hugged Bai Lu Yi beside him as Bai Lu Jing lightly patted her shoulder, as though consoling her. Bai Lu Yi inclined her head and glanced at Bai Lu Jing as she giggled. Brother, I know you have a crush on that brat, but you won't be able to hold on to him. Just let him go. Bai Lu Jing sighed. How could he not know what Bai Lu Yi was thinking? Back then when Bai Lu Yi and Qin Wentian were together, he initially supported Qin Wentian and even felt that Qin Wentian was just lucky. But now that he saw Qin Wentian growing at such a terrifying speed, Bai Lu Jing understood that his sister wouldn't be able to hold on to him. Little E, will he be able to enter the top 3? The large-eyed elder from the White Deer Institute asked in a low voice with a smile on his face. Only those who witnessed it personally would understand how difficult it was to obtain the top 3 rankings. Chan Wang, Sherpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chan, the black-robed figure, Qin Zheng, Emperor Azure, Mu Feng, and the others. Which one of them wasn't terrifying? Qin Zheng forcing Sherpatian to such an extent, Mu Feng causing Si Qiong to be poisoned, the black-robed figure and Emperor Azure engaged in a frenzied battle. All of these scenes couldn't be erased from their minds. The ranking battle this time round was simply too terrifying. Naturally, Bai Lu Yi nodded her head. Back then in the star-seizing manner, in the secret realm of the divine inscriptions, who would believe in him? Didn't he succeed? Alright, I also hope that he can do it. If not, with him holding the hands of the number 1 beauty of the moon continent, the eyes of the entire world would be able to kill him. The large-eyed elder laughed lightly. That fellow was truly a surprise. Back then when Difeng, also known as Emperor Azure, came to the White Deer Institute, who would have thought highly of Qin Wentian? But now, Qin Wentian was already standing on the same platform as Emperor Azure. Not only that, Qin Wentian might even be ahead of Emperor Azure. But earlier, Emperor Azure had been defeated. Countless gazes landed on Qin Wentian and Emo Qingcheng, Xian Yan, Xian Xian, and Li Shiyu from the Mystic Maiden Palace, Xu Ruanyu from the Moon Continent, Ouyang Quangxing and Ouyang Xiaolu from the Ouyang aristocrat clan. All of them had different thoughts in their minds. But no matter what the people of the world thought, Qin Wentian and Emo Qingcheng wouldn't care. Since they had chosen to hold hands on the platform, they had already tossed everything aside and had nothing to fear. I concede. Emo Qingcheng gently smiled. She didn't participate in the Heavenly Fate rankings for the sake of ranking. She didn't care whether she was first or last, she didn't care. For this battle, she chose to give up, to pave the way for Qin Wentian. As expected, Emo Qingcheng admitted defeat. When the spectators saw the two of them holding hands, they had already guessed that Emo Qingcheng would directly grant Qin Wentian his wish, single-handedly pushing him into the top 6 rankings. As the sound of Emo Qingcheng's voice faded, the top 6 rankings were revealed. They were Chan Wang, Sherpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chan, the black-robed figure and Qin Wentian. However, their positions weren't stable, because those in the bottom 5 rankings might issue a challenge to them. Once they were defeated, their positions would be replaced. The gazes of the spectators shifted onto Qin Wentian. Among the top 5, other than Mo Qingcheng, the first person they would challenge would be none other than Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng walked down the platform together, and even after they left, they still stood together. Old Man Tianji announced the conclusion of the battle. Next, it would be time for the challengers. Those in the bottom 5 rankings would still have the opportunity to issue a challenge, but first, they would be given a night of rest. After all, the battle earlier had been extremely intense. Below the platform, the spectators were all exceptionally quiet. In the vast corridor outside, the spectators were all discussing in low voices, as though they were still immersed in the scene of Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng holding hands. They were all thinking that if they were in Qin Wentian's shoes, they wouldn't have wasted their time roaming the world. Early in the morning sun hung high up in the skies, filling the air with vitality. In the vast corridor, the gazes of the spectators were all open as they stared at the silhouettes around the platform. Old Man Tianji opened his eyes as he spoke to Qin Zheng. Qin Zheng, you will be the first to issue a challenge. If you win, you will replace him and fight for the top 6 rankings. If you lose, you will fight for the bottom 5 rankings. Qin Zheng nodded his head as he stepped onto the platform once again. The person he challenged was none other than Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen was evidently taken aback. The first person to be challenged was actually him. Radiating a sharp intent, he stepped onto the platform. After which, the spectators witnessed yet another intense battle. As for the ending, Zhang Chen defeated Qin Zheng. It wasn't that Qin Zheng wasn't strong, it was just that he was the same as Yun Mengyi. Qin Zheng's attack had clearly landed on Zhang Chen. Yet Zhang Chen seemed to have an indestructible golden body, remaining unscathed. The spectators were already thinking that it was time to re-evaluate Zhang Chen's combat prowess. Next, it was Mu Feng's turn. Mu Feng sat cross-legged, continuing his cultivation. Si Qiong had used a soul attack against him, and soul attacks were the most damaging. I give up the heavenly fate rankings. Mu Feng closed his eyes as he calmly stated, as though he was speaking of an extremely ordinary matter. Fine, Mu Feng shall be ranked number 11 on the heavenly fate rankings. Old Man Tianji nodded, after which, on the resplendent heavenly fate rankings, Mu Feng's name was engraved onto the number 11 ranking. However, no one dared to underestimate him, nor did they dare to forget his name. Although he was ranked number 11, Mu Feng's name was still engraved in the minds of the spectators. After which, it was Yun Mengyi's turn. Glancing at the top 6 rankers, Yun Mengyi calmly stated, I give up on the heavenly fate rankings. Yun Mengyi knew that there was still a gap between her and Qin Zheng. Since Qin Zheng was about to be eliminated, there was no longer any meaning for her to continue fighting. Yun Mengyi, ranked number 10 on the heavenly fate rankings, Old Man Tianji announced. I give up as well, Mo Qingcheng replied in a low voice. Mo Qingcheng spoke in a low voice. She originally didn't have the will to continue fighting. Next, she only needed to watch Qin Wentian. Mo Qingcheng, ranked number 9 on the heavenly fate rankings. After which, only Emperor Azure was left. Emperor Azure once again stepped onto the platform. His gaze wasn't focused on anyone else but on Qin Wentian. Others might not know of Qin Wentian, but he naturally knew that Qin Wentian was the possessor of the Azure Emperor token. Qin Wentian had snatched away something that belonged to him. Qin Wentian was once again sent into the top 6 rankers of the heavenly fate rankings by Mo Qingcheng. It's time for you to step down. The position of number 8 on the heavenly fate rankings is what truly belongs to you. Ultimately, it's useless to rely on a woman. Emperor Azure slowly spoke, as many nodded their heads in agreement. Earlier, Qin Wentian hadn't even fought, yet he was already ranked within the top 6. To the others, this was clearly unfair. After all, both Qin Zheng and Emperor Azure had experienced intense battles in the past. Let's hope that Emperor Azure would be able to blast Qin Wentian out of the arena. Qin Wentian stepped onto the platform, facing Emperor Azure. This would be the first battle between him and Mo Qingcheng, and also the first battle between him and the successor of the D clan of the Azure faction. Do you want to step down yourself? Or do you want me to personally send you down? Demonic chi gushed forth from Emperor Azure. no longer concealing the fact that he had cultivated the fiend transformation art. Qin Wentian stared at Emperor Azure with his hands clasped behind his back, his eyes calm. 10 breaths of time. If you aren't defeated, I will withdraw from the heavenly fate rankings. Qin Wentian's voice echoed through the air, causing the gazes of the crowd to freeze. Just when everyone thought that Qin Wentian, who had relied on Imo Qingqing to climb up to this point, would be defeated by Emperor Azure, Qin Wentian suddenly announced. He, Qin Wentian, declared to the world that if Emperor Azure wasn't defeated in 10 breaths of time, he would withdraw from the heavenly fate rankings. Was this the arrogance of ignorance, or was it the self-confidence that was carved into his bones? Chapter 381. The battle between Emperor Azure and the black-robed figure was witnessed by the spectators. Emperor Azure's strength was deeply engraved in their hearts. He had cultivated many techniques, and every single one of them was extremely terrifying. Not only that, he was somewhat similar to Qin Wentian, possessing the ability to transform into a demon, allowing him to become incomparably terrifying. If it wasn't for the fact that the black-robed figure had executed one of the most tyrannical arts of the chaotic art of the heavenly devil, the 9 slashes of purgatory, he might not have been able to defeat Emperor Azure. And yet, at this moment, Qin Wentian stood on the arena platform, declaring that he would defeat Emperor Azure within 10 breaths of time. How arrogant was this? Emperor Azure couldn't believe his own eyes when he heard Qin Wentian's words. Defeat him within 10 breaths of time? Because of Imo Qingqing's admission of defeat, Qin Wentian was able to temporarily enter the top 6. The others were all frantically fighting for the top 6 spots, while he effortlessly entered the top 6. And now he even dared to say such words to him? If he hadn't heard it with his own ears, he wouldn't have dared to believe it. A demonic light flashed in Emperor Azure's eyes, only to see a pair of tyrannical wings appearing on Qin Wentian's back. 1 breath of time. As the sound of his voice faded, Qin Wentian's silhouette vanished from sight. His silhouette was akin to a true great rock, and with a flash, he appeared before Emperor Azure as he blasted out a palm strike. As this palm descended, the sound of bells rang out. Numerous ancient golden bells appeared out of nowhere, giving off a dong-dong sound that contained a mysterious power. These bell chimes directly rang out in the depths of Emperor Azure's heart, ignoring everything else. Not only that, the bell chimes rang out unceasingly. At this moment, Emperor Azure felt as though numerous gigantic ancient bells were slamming into his heart. Such a feeling wasn't something an outsider could understand. In just an instant, Emperor Azure's back was drenched in sweat. With a howl of rage, his astral souls erupted forth as his entire person transformed into a phantom, transforming into a blood-colored demonic ape as he blasted out with a palm strike. Boom! The bell chimes rang out unceasingly, causing Emperor Azure's heart to palpitate madly, as though it would explode at any moment. With a howl of madness, Qin Wentian's palm imprint blasted out. It was similarly the ape-strike palm imprint, and as it collided with Emperor Azure's palm imprint, a terrifying might erupted forth. Emperor Azure felt the energy transmitted from Qin Wentian's palm imprint seeping into his body, gushing towards his heart. Lifting his left hand, a devil imprint erupted forth from his palm, slamming towards Qin Wentian's face. A battle of strength. Qin Wentian's mandate of force and mandate of demonic beasts simultaneously erupted forth from his palms. Both palms collided with each other, causing the entire arena platform to tremble as a terrifying shockwave swept through the air. Boom! A powerful surge of astral energy erupted forth as Emperor Azure's silhouette vanished. The spectators only saw his silhouette reappearing behind Qin Wentian's back. Qin Wentian didn't even glance at him as he stabbed out with a single finger. The heaven-breaking finger, a single finger capable of severing the heavens. As the finger pierced out, a terrifying black hole of demonic chi appeared in the air, shooting towards Emperor Azure's heart. At the same time, a third eye appeared in the center of Qin Wentian's brows, directly scanning through the air. In that instant, Emperor Azure felt his mind going blank, as though he was in a daze. Die! With a roar, Emperor Azure slashed out with a resplendent sword strike, imbued with the might of the heavenly swordplay. Astonishment and bewilderment could be seen on the faces of the spectators. Why did Emperor Azure's sword strike Miss Qin Wentian's body? That sword was so beautiful, so resplendent, but it actually slashed the wrong way? As the heaven-breaking finger descended, the purgatory vermilion bird behind Qin Wentian let out a shrill cry as it dashed towards Emperor Azure's vermilion bird. Although its ancient luck was useless now, the purgatory vermilion bird still didn't want to spare Emperor Azure's condensed vermilion bird. The immense power contained within was so great that it felt as though it wanted to shatter Emperor Azure's heart. Qin Wentian turned his gaze onto the vermilion bird. His silhouette flickered as he appeared in front of Emperor Azure, directly grabbing onto his throat. 10 breaths of time shouldn't be up yet, Qin Wentian calmly spoke as he lifted Emperor Azure's body, walking towards the edge of the arena platform. Countless people inclined their heads, staring at the shocking scene unfolding before them. No one knew what they were thinking in their hearts. The shock these people brought to them today was simply too much. Qin Wentian had heavily injured Emperor Azure within 10 breaths of time. Not only that, he had even used his most tyrannical strength to suppress Emperor Azure, not allowing Emperor Azure to unleash his full strength. In terms of pure strength, Qin Wentian was even more terrifying compared to Emperor Azure. However, Emperor Azure had many techniques up his sleeves, and was proficient in many ultimate arts. Although he wasn't able to unleash much of the power of his ultimate arts, it was still sufficient to shock the world. But sadly, no matter how many techniques he had up his sleeves, all of them were destroyed by that single strike. That terrifying sword strike actually missed? Even at this moment, the spectators still couldn't understand. Given Emperor Azure's strength, how could his attack miss, allowing Qin Wentian's finger strike to strike him? Qin Wentian carried Emperor Azure's body as he walked to the edge of the arena platform. He stood there, staring at the countless silhouettes, as well as those from the transcendent powers. He told the D-Clan and the White Deer Institute that his name was Qin Wentian. He wasn't worthy of Mo Qingcheng. Since he had held her hand on the arena platform, he had already made all the preparations he needed today. You are not worthy. Qin Wentian flung Emperor Azure off the platform. Emperor Azure's countenance paled. He knew what Qin Wentian meant when he said he wasn't worthy. He wasn't worthy of the Azure Emperor's inheritance. The battle between the two of them was a battle for the successor. Emperor Azure, or more accurately Defeng, had suffered a crushing defeat. Those from the D-Clan were naturally mixed in with the crowd. They had clearly seen that Qin Wentian had taken out the Azure Emperor token in the White Deer Institute, and those from the Celestial Lake Palace had also appeared there. How could they not know of Qin Wentian's existence? Those from the White Deer Institute were all filled with emotions when they saw the ending of the battle. There would always be a heavens chosen in every generation. In a short span of a few years, Qin Wentian was able to reverse the situation. Countless people stared at Qin Wentian, who was standing on the arena platform. His purgatory vermilion bird had devoured Emperor Azure's vermilion bird, and was now floating behind him. One man, one demon, they stood on the arena platform. Yesterday he held Mo Qingcheng's hand, announcing to the world their relationship. Was he, Qin Wentian, not worthy? Stepping out, Qin Wentian walked down the platform. At this moment the top 6 rankings had already been decided. The top 6 rankers were Chan Wang, Shirpatian, Si Qiong, Zhan Chan, the black-robed figure, and Qin Wentian. Old Man Tianji allowed the spectators to rest for a period of time before he announced, Qin Zheng, battle against Emperor Azure. This battle would determine the 7th and 8th rankers of the Heavenly Fate rankings. Emperor Azure wouldn't allow himself to be defeated. On the arena platform, he frenziedly fought against Qin Zheng, causing the spectators to involuntarily sigh in admiration. Both of them were extremely powerful, and were proficient in many different methods. In the end, Emperor Azure was defeated once again. Ever since the top 11 rankers were decided, Emperor Azure had lost 3 times in a row. The first was to the black-robed figure, the second was to Qin Wentian, and the third was to Qin Zheng. He, Emperor Azure, hadn't even won a single battle. Even someone as powerful as Emperor Azure was defeated in 3 consecutive battles. Such an ending caused the spectators to sigh in their hearts. This was the Heavenly Fate rankings this time around. The previous ranker, Emperor Azure, ranked number 5, had lost all 3 battles. At this moment, Emperor Azure was extremely dispirited. He had no way to accept such a tragic ending. However, reality was cruel. The heavenly fate rankings floated in front of Old Man Tianji. Qin Zheng's name was engraved on the 7th position, while Emperor Azure's name was engraved on the 8th position. Only the top 6 rankers had yet to be determined. The remaining 6 were also the strongest among them. Great waves of shock rocked the hearts of the spectators. They didn't dare to believe how terrifying the upcoming battles would be. Chen Wang, who would he face in the first battle? Xi Qiong, how strong would his soul assimilation art be? Other than Mu Feng, was there anyone else who could injure him? Chen Wang, Shirpatian, Xi Qiong, Zhan Chen. Who was stronger? Had the black-robed figure reached his limit? Would he be able to advance any further? Qin Wentian was a dark horse. Would he be the weakest among the remaining 6? Or could he continue to create miracles and step into the top 5? Or even the top 3? Questions and questions filled the hearts of the spectators. They couldn't wait to see the final battles of the heavenly fate rankings. Next, each and every one of you will have to fight multiple rounds of battles. The order of the battles will be determined by me. As long as your strength is sufficient, you will all have multiple chances to fight. You won't be eliminated after a single round. Old Man Tianji stared at the crowd as he slowly explained. Many of the spectators knew of the rules of the heavenly fate rankings. When it came to the last 6 people, they knew that the following battles would be very serious. They would carry out many battles to determine the final rankings. For the first round, Chen Wang against Zhan Chen, Xi Qiong against the black-robed figure, Shirpatian against Qin Wentian. As the sound of Old Man Tianji's voice faded, the spectators all nodded their heads in agreement. From their perspective, Chen Wang, Xi Qiong and Shirpatian might be stronger than Zhan Chen, Qin Wentian and the black-robed figure. Hence, there was no need for the 2 of them to clash earlier than expected. However, it was unavoidable for the remaining 6 rankers to clash against each other. Regardless of which 2 of them clashed against each other, it would still be considered a battle between the strong. Chen Wang against Zhan Chen. For this battle, Chen Wang had a higher chance of winning. Although Zhan Chen was also very powerful, Chen Wang had the highest chance of obtaining the first rank. Xi Qiong against the black-robed man. Xi Qiong should be the victor. Xi Qiong's combat prowess was strange and powerful, and he even had a soul-devouring art. It was simply too terrifying. Although the black-robed man's devil arts were tyrannical, he was still lacking in maturity. In terms of mastery over the ultimate arts of Grand Xia, the black-robed figure's mastery over the chaotic art of the art of the art of the art of the chaotic art of the art of the art of the art of the heavenly fate rankings could be said to be one of the stronger contenders. His mastery of the Great Solar Universe art was comparable to Chen Wang's mastery of the Great Solar Universe art. Yet it was still far from enough. Xi Qiong seemed to be proficient in many of the ultimate arts of Grand Xia. As for the battle between Shirpatian and Qin Wentian, the majority of the spectators still felt that Shirpotian's chances of victory were higher. After all, Shirpatian was still the #1 contender. Before this, the spectators had always thought that he would fight against Chen Wang. But with the appearance of Xi Qiong and Zhan Chen, the situation had changed. However, with Shirpotian's strength, he should be able to defeat Qin Wentian, although it would not be easy. Chapter 382. Chen Wang against Zhan Chen. Xi Qiong against the black-robed figure. Shirpatian against Qin Wentian. 3 battles, each one filled the hearts of the spectators with boundless anticipation. When Chen Wang and Zhan Chen stood on the arena platform, countless gazes landed on them. Chen Wang had transformed into the mysterious and terrifying Zhan Chen. How terrifying would the 2 of them be when they clashed? Chen Wang and Zhan Chen stared at each other. The vermilion bird let out a long cry as its aura erupted forth. A terrifying battle intent surged forth from both of them, as though it was about to roar. Chen Wang's entire body was bathed in flames. His bones and blood seemed to have transformed into lava. He resembled a flaming giant, his eyes gleaming with the light of the great sun. Behind him, a great sun dharma body could be seen. Just a single glance at him was enough to strike fear into the hearts of the spectators. The temperature around him was so terrifying that no one dared to approach him. Zhan Chen's body was enveloped in a layer of golden light. The golden light shone resplendently under the rays of the sun, as though he possessed an indestructible golden body, clashing head-on with Chun Wang's flaming body. No matter how strong you are now, you will lose for sure. Chun Wang stared at Zhan Chen as he calmly stated, "No one can obstruct my path." Zhan Chen's eyes flickered with a terrifying golden light, as though his gaze could kill. In his hands a golden sword appeared, the sword of punishment. The two of them stepped out, walking towards each other as a towering might gushed forth from Chun Wang's body. On the Vermilion Bird Arena platform, the two vermilion bird silhouettes in the air were also engaged in a fierce battle, screeching madly as they clashed against each other. Chi, a beam of sword light slashed through the air. Zhan Chen was the first to make his move. The sword of punishment contained the might of heavenly punishment, capable of cleaving apart everything. His mandate of swords erupted forth. His sword contained the might of punishment, able to end the life and death of his opponent with a single strike. Bang! Chun Wang stepped out. His silhouette directly vanished as astral light erupted forth. This was the ultimate art of Grand Xia stellar transposition. Stellar transposition was the easiest absolute art to master. It could be mastered in a short period of time, but the more proficient one was in practicing it, the more powerful it would be. All 9 ultimate arts were like this. For example, Chun Wang's Great Solar Universe art, as well as the black-robed figure's chaotic art of the Heavenly Devil. The longer they cultivated it, the more proficient they would be. As for others who had only cultivated it for a short period of time, although they also possessed powerful techniques, the power they could unleash was limited. This was also the reason why Emperor Azure was defeated by the black-robed figure. Emperor Azure seemed to be proficient in all kinds of secret arts, yet he was still defeated by the black-robed figure, who only used a single secret art. How could this be? That was because the black-robed man only cultivated the chaotic Heavenly Devil art. He infused all of his energy into the chaotic Heavenly Devil art. His chaotic Heavenly Devil art was tyrannical to the extreme. When the 5th saber of the 9 slaughters of purgatory slashed out, even the heavens and earth turned dark. Naturally, Emperor Azure didn't cultivate many ultimate arts of Grand Xia. He only cultivated a single one, the Formless Heart Sutra. The Formless Heart Sutra was obtained by one of the 7 great lineages of Grand Xia, the Hua clan. A few years ago, Hua Taishu relied on the Formless Heart Sutra to dominate the heavenly fate rankings. The Formless Heart Sutra was invisible and formless, yet it was capable of simulating innate techniques. Emperor Azure's Formless Heart Sutra couldn't even be compared to Hua Taishu's. After all, he had only cultivated it for a few days. The 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia were Great Solar Universe art, Chaotic Heavenly Devil art, Heavenly Swordplay, Golden Dragon Battle art, Stellar Transposition, Formless Heart Sutra, Seal of Life and Death, Blood Curse Imprint and Thunder God / Not everyone could cultivate the 9 ultimate arts. For example, the Great Solar Universe art was best suited for fire-type cultivators. As for the Chaotic Heavenly Devil art, it was exceedingly difficult to cultivate and was also exceedingly dangerous. Hence, there were only a few people who could cultivate it. Although it was the most tyrannical and all-round cultivation art, its single-target attacks weren't as tyrannical as the Thunder God / The Stellar Transposition was the easiest to cultivate. As for the Seal of Life and Death and Blood Curse Imprint, only those with unique talent would be able to successfully cultivate them. The more difficult an ultimate art was, the more effort and price one had to pay, and the more talent one had to pay. But if one could successfully cultivate it, the benefits one could obtain would also be the greatest. Chun Wang chose the Stellar Transposition because he felt that his attacks were already sufficiently powerful. The other ultimate arts might not be suitable for him. The Stellar Transposition allowed him to unleash instantaneous attacks, as well as the ability to evade. In the blink of an eye, Chun Wang appeared before Zhan Chen as a terrifying Great Solar Palm imprint blasted onto Zhan Chen's golden body. The flames of the Great Solar Flame instantly melted Zhan Chen's golden body into a liquid state. The golden liquid started to flow, yet Zhan Chen didn't seem to notice it at all. His eyes were fixated on Chun Wang, wanting to decide the victor of this battle in an instant. Chun Wang was underestimating him, Zhan Chen. A malevolent smile flickered in Chun Wang's eyes as the sound of splashing rang out. That golden body of Zhan Chen had actually been completely melted into a liquid state. At this moment, a silhouette directly flew out, slashing out with a sword as fast as lightning. Chan Wang lifted his arm and made a grabbing motion in the air. The sound of collision rang out. It felt as though his arm was about to be severed. However, his arm had already turned into lava, and he didn't fear pain at all. Chan Wang stared at the sky as a gigantic palm imprint manifested, directly grabbing onto Zhan Chen's body. VZ. Another silhouette flew out. Zhan Chen once again transformed into his original form, instantly appearing behind Chan Wang as he slashed out with his sword. As this sword descended, it borrowed the radiance of the heavens and earth, as well as the radiance of the sun and moon. The heavenly sword, heavenly sword, heavenly sword, heavenly sword, heavenly sword, heavenly sword. Bang! A powerful astral light erupted forth. Chan Wang also sensed the danger of this attack. His silhouette vanished from sight, appearing on the other side of the arena platform. Turning his head, Chan Wang stared at Zhan Chen with a puzzled expression. Zhan Chen had an indestructible golden body? Why was it that every time Zhan Chen struck him, he would be able to escape like a cicada shedding its carapace? I really want to see how long you can endure. Chan Wang soared in the air as he released his astral souls. A great solar astral body appeared behind him, exuding an incomparable majesty. His silhouette instantly appeared in front of Zhan Chen as he frenziedly punched out with his great solar fist. The terrifying might of the great solar universe art engulfed everything in its path, while Zhan Chen's sword danced in the air. The two of them clashed violently in the air, causing explosive sounds to echo out unceasingly. The two of them seemed to be indestructible. Zhan Chen was struck at least 10 times, while Chan Wang was slashed 5 times, yet he didn't even frown in the slightest. Too violent. Such a battle caused the hearts of the spectators to tighten. Who would have thought that Zhan Chen would be able to fight against Chan Wang to such an extent? Even if he was defeated, he would still be one of the top 3 contenders. Let's see how long you can last. A voice filled with arrogance rang out as Zhan Chen's golden body shattered once again. The spectators stared at the silhouette of Chan Wang as they sighed. Chan Wang's foundation was indeed deeper than Zhan Chen's. Although Zhan Chen was also very strong, he was still somewhat inferior. Finally, Zhan Chen was suppressed by Chan Wang, and was blasted off the arena platform. Drawing in a deep breath, he landed on the ground as his countenance paled. In the end, Chan Wang was still the victor. Chan Wang's strength was evidently higher than Zhan Chen's, but Zhan Chen's abilities were too monstrous. It was as though he was invincible, which was why the battle lasted for so long. If it wasn't Chan Wang, who else would be able to defeat Zhan Chen? The second battle, Si Qiong against the black-robed figure. This was also a battle that caused the spectators to be filled with anticipation. Si Qiong was actually proficient in soul attacks. Other than Mu Feng, who else would be able to injure Si Qiong so severely? Most probably, only Mu Feng's poison would be able to do so. Rumble, the moment the black-robed figure stepped onto the arena platform, he had already unleashed his devil might. He knew how tyrannical Si Qiong's strength was, and how terrifying his soul attacks were. Si Qiong's figure was slender as he stood there, exuding an aura of sharpness. Just by standing there, he gave off a sense of immense self-confidence. The chaotic art of the heavenly devil, the 5th saber of the 9 slashes purgatory isn't enough, Si Qiong calmly stated. He had studied the 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia, and if one could cultivate the chaotic art of the heavenly devil to its peak, it would definitely be extremely terrifying. However, the cultivation base of the black-robed figure was only at the Yuanfu realm, and was far from being able to unleash the full might of the chaotic art of the heavenly devil. The 9th saber of the 9 slashes purgatory gathered the might of the previous 8 saber strikes, causing a demonic dragon to descend from the heavens, capable of shattering the heavens and rending the earth. Rumble, the devil might was still as strong as ever. Up in the air, the skies darkened as demonic clouds howled, as though a terrifying demonic dragon was roaring in the skies. A devil saber appeared in the hands of the black-robed figure, as the demonic dragon fused into the saber light. The black-robed figure advanced forward. For experts who were proficient in soul attacks, they naturally couldn't afford to drag the battle out. If not, their souls would be severely injured, and the consequences would be dire. Si Qiong's lips moved as sound waves gushed forth from his mouth. This was none other than the soul-suppressing melody. The silhouette of the black-robed figure flickered as he slashed out with his first saber strike. The terrifying saber light caused the sound waves to dissipate. His movements didn't pause as he slashed out with his second saber strike. This saber strike was already aimed at Si Cheong's face. Bang! Astral light exploded forth as Si Cheong's silhouette vanished from sight, reappearing directly above the head of the black-robed figure. His stellar transposition seemed to be even faster and more proficient than before. Chi! Si Cheong pointed out with his finger as a terrifying black-colored chi current pierced through the air, landing on the body of the black-robed figure. However, at the same time, the black-robed figure slashed out with his third saber strike. Bang! Astral light exploded forth once more as Si Cheong vanished once again. This time around, he appeared behind the black-robed figure, his lips still moving as he slashed out with his finger once more. The black-robed figure let out a howl of agony, as though he was in extreme agony. His devilish saber spun in reverse as it slashed out horizontally. However, Si Cheong vanished once again. This was the third time he executed stellar transposition, and he executed it consecutively. This caused the spectators to involuntarily sigh in admiration. Si Cheong's stellar transposition was simply too terrifying, and the consumption of astral energy in his body was extremely high. It was just that the speed at which he executed stellar transposition was extremely fast, allowing him to reduce the consumption of astral energy. Hence, for this strike, Si Cheong's 5 fingers struck out, pointing straight at the head of the black-robed figure. Abruptly, the silhouette of the black-robed figure vanished. The black-robed figure vanished without a trace, as though he had never appeared before. At the place where he stood, only a long black robe was left behind. Si Cheong furrowed his brows, after which a hand abruptly stretched out, grabbing hold of his hand. A terrifying wave of underworld energy caused his entire body to feel a bone-piercing chill. A saber slashed out, as Si Cheong's other hand abruptly slashed out. Fresh blood splattered in the air, but the finger that was grabbed by the black-robed figure was still pointing downwards. Finally, the black-robed figure released his grip. Si Cheong explosively retreated, only to see the silhouette of the black-robed figure vanishing from the arena platform as he sat cross-legged on the ground. His soul was injured. The hearts of the spectators involuntarily trembled. The damage to one's soul was extremely terrifying, and the black-robed figure was clearly injured. He had lost to Si Cheong. Si Cheong was too terrifying. There was a high possibility that he would be contending against Chan Wang for the top ranker of the Heavenly Fate rankings. Chapter 383. Si Cheong's soul attacks definitely didn't lose out to the 9 ultimate arts of Grand Xia. Yuanfu realm cultivators had no way to sense their own souls, yet Si Cheong was able to do so. However, that earlier strike from the black-robed figure had also left a deep impression on the spectators. It was as though the black-robed figure had vanished into thin air, unleashing a sudden slash that almost caused Si Cheong to die. That earlier strike had also caused Si Cheong to break out in cold sweat. In the battle between Chan Wang and Zhan Chan, as well as the battle between Si Cheong and the black-robed figure, although Chan Wang and Si Cheong had both emerged victorious, they were still able to win by a hair's breadth. From this, one could see the disparity in strength between them. If one dared to underestimate one's opponent, they would definitely die a miserable death. Si Cheong and the black-robed figure both left the platform. The next battle was between Shurpatian and Qin Wentian. In this battle, would the powerful Shurpatian be able to suppress Qin Wentian? Shurpatian from the Shur clan cultivated the Golden Dragon battle art and stellar transposition. It was said that his bloodline contained a unique ability that would be extremely terrifying once used. Shurpatian was ranked number 3 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings. Now that he was facing a dark horse, how would he fare in defeating him? The dark horse that Shurpatian was facing wasn't an ordinary dark horse. Ever since the first round, he was only at the 7th level of Yuanfu. Back then, he had already obtained first place in the Sounding the Drum Challenge Heavenly Will. At that time, he didn't attract too much attention. At the very most, the spectators only knew of him. After which, he killed Duan Qingshan. After which, he donned the platinum battle robe, striking the hearts of the spectators again and again. However, what truly caused Qin Wentian to be taken seriously was his performance in the Vermilion Bird formation. When he was being pursued by Chen Wang was the one who suffered a disadvantage, forcing Chen Wang to hide in the cave, and when he came out, he used the most tyrannical method to slaughter Yang Fan, Hua Feng, and the others. Even the powerful Yao Lord was chased away by him with a single sentence. Qin Wentian had a high chance of entering the top 10 of the Heavenly Fate rankings. After that, he held Mo Qingqing's hand on the Heavenly Fate ranking battle platform, telling the world about the relationship between him and Mo Qingqing. And after that, within 10 breaths of time, he defeated Emperor Azure. Time and time again, he had caused the crowd to sigh in admiration. Now, he was fighting for the top 3 positions and his opponent was Sherpa Dian. Without a doubt, this would be the strongest challenge Qin Wentian had ever faced since he entered the Heavenly Fate rankings. Back then in the Vermilion Bird formation, he could still escape from Chen Wang, but on the arena platform he could only fight. Sherpa Dian and Qin Wentian stood on the platform, facing each other. Qin Wentian, this dark horse, had he reached the end of his path? A golden dragon-shaped battle armor covered Sherpa Dian's body. The ancient demon blood in his body seemed to be boiling. Sherpa Dian was like a dragon-shaped ancient demon, wielding a golden spear as he stepped forward. One of the 9 great arts of Grand Xia, the Golden Dragon Battle Art. Sherpa Dian had always been cultivating this art, and his combat strength was incomparably strong. When he walked towards Qin Wentian, the spectators felt as though Qin Wentian was facing a primordial demon. Qin Wentian's body was clad in demonic armor. Demonic qi gushed forth from him as the blood in his body churned wildly. His palms were filled with boundless strength. Behind him a pair of demonic wings appeared, flapping gently as a demonic wind ravaged the arena platform. Boom! Sherpa Dian stepped out as his silhouette vanished from sight. Stellar transposition, the instant he reappeared, he appeared right in front of Qin Wentian. The golden dragon spear stabbed out explosively, akin to a golden dragon brandishing its claws, wanting to penetrate Qin Wentian's head. This strike was as fast as lightning. There was no way for Qin Wentian to react. However, a demonic light flickered in the center of Qin Wentian's brows. His third eye shone with a resplendent light, and at the instant the spear pierced out, he had already locked onto Sherpa Dian's silhouette. It was impossible for Yuanfu cultivators to achieve true teleportation. The stellar transposition had such a powerful effect because it was able to ignite the astral light in an instant, allowing the user to burst forth with terrifying speed, giving off the impression of teleportation. But if a supreme expert were to spectate such a battle, they would be able to clearly see the trajectory of the stellar transposition. Naturally, the stellar transposition would also increase in power according to the user's strength. Qin Wentian was also able to see the trajectory of stellar transposition. The instant his third eye opened, not even the slightest fluctuation in space could hide from him. This was also the reason why when he was fighting against Emperor Azure, he was able to accurately turn his body around and attack Emperor Azure. Bzz! A raging wind gusted as his wings flapped. Qin Wentian's silhouette instantly transformed into a series of afterimages. The golden dragon-shaped spear pierced through the air, yet it only managed to hit the afterimage. Qin Wentian was completely unscathed as he faced Sherpa Dian. Sherpa Dian's countenance stiffened as he stared at Qin Wentian's slowly flapping wings. The speed at which Qin Wentian flapped his wings was extremely terrifying, not much slower compared to stellar transposition. Pung! Sherpa Dian took another step forward as his silhouette vanished once more. This time around, his silhouette directly appeared at the side of Qin Wentian. His golden spear was even faster, even more ferocious. With a single stab, the sound of a sonic boom rang out as the spear pierced into Qin Wentian's silhouette, causing it to explode. However, there was no blood. How is this possible? The spectators only saw the afterimages of Qin Wentian appearing on the arena platform. Qin Wentian was still floating there unscathed. The wings on his back were still flapping as he stared at Sherpa Dian. He's able to sense stellar transposition, just like when he fought against Emperor Azure. How powerful! The spectators could finally confirm that Qin Wentian's perception was extremely terrifying. He was able to sense the trajectory of stellar transposition, allowing him to evade in advance. Sherpa Dian naturally understood this as well. He didn't continue using stellar transposition, stepping out step by step as a terrifying aura gushed forth from him. The demonic chi from Qin Wentian towered up into the skies. His arms transformed into the arms of a qilin, thick and powerful. His sharp claws shone with a terrifying light. Bang! Sure Potion's golden spear struck out once more. This time around he directly attacked Qin Wentian. The golden light from the spear penetrated through everything. It only needed an instant to pierce through Qin Wentian's head. On the tip of the spear, a demonic dragon could be seen baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. Strength. I wonder how strong Sure Potion's strength is. Sure Potion was proficient in strength attacks, and was incomparably tyrannical. However, Qin Wentian directly blasted out with his arms. The incomparably ferocious qilin claws collided with the demonic dragon shadow, causing terrifying sounds of collision to echo out. Sizzling sounds rang out as Qin Wentian was forced backwards. His mandate of force was already at the second level, and so was his mandate of demon. But in terms of strength, he still couldn't compare to Sure Potion. The mandates Qin Wentian had comprehended were the mandate of demons, the mandate of metal, and the mandate of great earth. All of them contained a terrifying amplification effect, and all of them were at the second level. In fact, some of them had even reached the advanced boundary while Qin Wentian was still stuck at the initial boundary. Just based on pure strength alone, Sure Potion was even stronger than Chen Wang. And it was precisely because of his strength that Sure Potion was considered the strongest contender for the heavenly fate rankings. Qin Wentian's arms trembled slightly. This time around he could sense many different types of mandates colliding against him. His arms were pierced through by the fiend transformation art, as well as a feeling that his bones were about to shatter. If it wasn't for the fact that his fiend transformation art had already reached the third level, he would definitely have been injured by this attack. In terms of strength, Sure Potion was extremely terrifying, but Qin Wentian discovered that Sure Potion had a weakness: his speed. The reason why Sure Potion chose to use stellar transposition was because he knew that he was lacking in terms of speed. But of course, whether or not his speed was slow depended on who he was fighting against. If he was fighting against ordinary cultivators at the peak of Yuanfu, his speed definitely wouldn't be any slower. VZ. A raging wind billowed as a pair of gigantic demonic wings fluttered in the wind. It was as though those wings were a part of Qin Wentian's body. Demonic qi gushed forth and gradually a demonic silhouette appeared. Qin Wentian's body was enveloped by a screen of demonic light, resembling a true golden-winged rock. That terrifying demonic light circulated around his body, transforming into the most perfect outline of a great rock. There was a limit to the speed of a human, but if one transformed into a rock, how terrifying would their speed be? And this golden-winged rock, did it have the innate abilities of a human? This was the tyrannical aspect of the fiend transformation art. Qin Wentian was able to perfectly combine the advantages of both humans and demons. The third level of the fiend transformation art, fiend transformation. Qin Wentian transformed into a demonic rock. What a powerful innate technique. The hearts of the spectators trembled. Qin Wentian actually transformed into a demonic rock. The eyes of the defeated Emperor Azure gleamed with sharpness. Qin Wentian's fiend transformation art had actually reached the demonic transformation realm. As a descendant of the D clan, he had suffered crushing defeats in every aspect. A raging wind gusted by. On the arena platform, Qin Wentian's silhouette vanished, instantly reappearing in front of Sure Potion. The bell chimes rang out. The great rock actually blasted out an ancient bell, aiming for Sure Potion's heart. At the same time, a terrifying claw flashed past, slashing towards Sure Potion. Sure Potion's countenance turned grim. His long spear slammed out explosively. Although his movement technique was slow, his attack speed was still extremely fast. However, he still didn't manage to touch Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's figure flickered as another bell chime rang out, piercing his heart. The bell chimes continued unceasingly as the sharp claws slashed towards Sure Potion's back. Sure Potion gave up on the golden dragon spear. Turning back, he blasted out a terrifying ancient heavenly dragon imprint. Instantly, the roar of a dragon resounded through the air, but at the instant he touched Qin Wentian, the great rock was already nothing but an afterimage. Fast, too fast. Qin Wentian was using his speed to break through Sure Potion's advantage in strength. In that short instant, the two of them clashed countless times. On the arena platform, countless silhouettes appeared around Sherpadian. All of them were the silhouettes of the Great Rock, as well as the sharp claws of the heavenly dragon imprint. Sherpadian had terrifying strength, yet he had nowhere to unleash it. Even under the effect of gravity, he had no way to slow down Qin Wentian's speed. Qin Wentian's mandate of force was also very strong. It was able to contend against his mandate of gravity. The spectators were completely speechless when they saw this scene. Sherpadian had no way to unleash his full strength. Sherpadian was infuriated. His heart pounded madly. If this continued, his heart would be destroyed, and he would die without a doubt. Sherpadian was infuriated. His heart pounded madly. If this continued, his heart would be destroyed, and he would die without a doubt. With a thunderous roar, Sherpadian's bloodline surged to the heavens. The spectators only saw the silhouette of a gigantic primordial demonic beast appearing within Sherpadian's body. Sherpadian's entire body grew taller and taller as he let out a roar of rage. The sound waves from his roar seemed capable of shattering flesh and blood. Sherpadian has completely unleashed the power of his bloodline. The hearts of the spectators trembled. As expected, these people still had trump cards hidden up their sleeves. Sherpadian's gigantic palms directly grabbed towards the air, ignoring the incoming attacks, wanting to tear Qin Wentian apart. However, Qin Wentian's silhouette instantly vanished, and a palm strike landed on his back. Yet Sherpadian completely ignored it. The body of an ancient demonic beast was as sturdy as a mountain, indestructible. Too late. The voice of a human rang out from the great rock's mouth. Sherpadian was still frenziedly attacking, while Qin Wentian, who was in the form of a great rock, quietly stood behind him. This bizarre scene once again caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Is Sherpadian trapped in an illusion? Is this the reason why when Qin Wentian was fighting against Emperor Azure saber slashed at the wrong spot? Sherpadian frenziedly unleashed attacks towards the afterimages in the air. Qin Wentian, who was standing behind him, could sense how terrifying Sherpadian's aura was. His heart shuddered, but everything had already ended. The light around him manifested the silhouettes of numerous great rocks. In an instant, the silhouettes of the great rock formed an incomparably gigantic silhouette, completely enveloping Qin Wentian within. Is that a divine inscription of combat? Chapter 384. Qin Wentian had truly brought too much astonishment to the spectators. Initially, they had thought that with Sherpadian's terrifying strength, although he wouldn't be able to suppress Qin Wentian, it wouldn't be a problem for him to win. However, at this moment their confidence started to waver. Sherpadian had actually fallen into an illusory realm. Was that really an illusory realm? No, that's definitely not an illusory realm. Emperor Azure had experienced Qin Wentian's strength before. Not only that, he himself was proficient in illusory realms, yet that strike of his had landed on the wrong spot. It wasn't an illusory realm at all. It was as though everything had happened in reality. Given Emperor Azure's control over illusions, it was impossible for him to fall into an illusory realm. Not only that, powerful wills would be able to extricate themselves from it. For someone as terrifying as Sherpadian, it was impossible for him to fall into an illusory realm. At that time, Emperor Azure felt as though everything that happened was real, deeply imprinted into his consciousness. But in the end it was proven to be fake, just like Sherpadian. Emperor Azure knew that this was a type of mandate that was similar to the mandate of illusions. And that terrifying great rock, was that a combat divine inscription? A fourth-ranked combat divine inscription? The terrifying great rock accompanied Qin Wentian as they dashed forwards, like a beam of light, exuding a terrifying might that could destroy everything. The Purgatory Vermilion Bird, hovering above Qin Wentian's Vermilion Bird, held an absolute advantage against Sherpadian's Vermilion Bird. As Qin Wentian grew stronger, his Vermilion Bird also grew more and more violent and terrifying. Sherpadian finally realized something. Everything he saw was fake. It wasn't an illusory realm technique, it was an illusion created by him. An illusory realm technique allowed him to see things that were illusory and not real. However, what Sherpadian saw earlier wasn't an illusion, it was an illusion created by him. Boom! The terrifying great rock slammed into Sherpadian. instantly sending him flying through the air. His armor shattered as fresh blood flowed through the air, and he slammed heavily onto the ground. On the platform, the Purgatory Vermilion Bird had also swallowed Sure Potion's Vermilion Bird, ending the battle at the same time. Qin Wentian, who had transformed into the rock, stood up slowly and transformed into a human again. His breath was slightly fluctuating. His long robe and black hair were flying in the air. Staring at the silhouette of Qin Wentian, everyone understood that this dark horse was preparing to descend to the next round. Qin Wentian had defeated Sherpatian, the one who had the highest chance of contending for the top position in the Heavenly Fate rankings. Although Qin Wentian had seized Sure Potion's weakness and attacked crazily, making Sherpatian unable to play his advantage, he still won. Qin Wentian's comprehensive strength was too terrifying. He seemed to have no weaknesses. In terms of strength, he could crush too many people. Those who were stronger than him couldn't compare to him in speed. Moreover, he could transform into a demon, and had a terrifying ability comparable to the Will of Illusion. The ancient bell he shot out seemed to be able to destroy hearts. During battle, he could condense battle divine inscriptions in the air, and they were extremely terrifying battle divine inscriptions. All 3 battles had ended. Chun Wang defeated Zhan Chun. Si Qiong had defeated the black-robed figure. Qin Wentian had defeated Sherpatian. The final battle was undoubtedly the most shocking. It wasn't the process but rather the ending. Next, Chun Wang will battle Sherpatian, Si Qiong will battle Zhan Chun, and Qin Wentian will battle the black-robed figure. Old Man Tianji's voice rang out. The 3 victors would fight against the 3 losers. This way they could avoid a clash of the strongest, and at the same time the rankings wouldn't be determined by a single battle. That would be unfair. For example, although Sherpatian had lost to Qin Wentian, what if he was stronger than Si Qiong? If he was ranked 3rd, it would naturally be unfair to him. Therefore, there would be such a mismatch. This kind of battle would make the final ranking more convincing. Naturally, before the battles began, the participants had to be given sufficient time to recover from their earlier exhaustion and injuries. Only when Chun Wang and Sherpatian stood on the platform did the gazes of the countless spectators once again converge on the platform. This time around, Sherpatian didn't even have the Vermilion Bird spirit, but the spectators were still filled with anticipation for this battle. However, because of Sure Potion's defeat, the spectators' view of him had already changed. Everyone believed that Chun Wang would defeat Sherpatian, and no one was optimistic about Sure Potion's chances. The winner is the king, and the loser is the villain. If Sherpatian defeated Chun Wang, didn't that mean that Qin Wentian would be able to defeat Chun Wang as well? This battle was extremely important to Sherpatian. He couldn't afford to lose again, but the person he was facing now was Chun Wang. At the first instant, Sherpatian unleashed the innate technique from his bloodline. His body expanded in size, resembling an ancient demonic beast, unexcelled in the world. His strength, defense, and attack had all increased to an unfathomable level. Chun Wang was also extremely serious. His astral soul erupted forth as the great sun Dharma body manifested. The battle between the two of them used the most direct method, colliding head-on. On the arena platform, the flaming giant and the ancient demonic beast were engaged in a frenzied battle. Every time they collided, the spectators could feel their blood boiling. Chun Wang's flaming body was on the verge of breaking apart, while Sure Potion's body was engulfed in flames, as though he was about to transform into a flaming giant. Sherpatian, you can't do it. Abruptly, a voice rang out from the arena platform, after which the spectators only saw the great sun Dharma body above Chun Wang's head radiating a resplendent light, as though his astral soul had fused together with it. A gigantic palm imprint that seemed capable of annihilating the heavens and earth slammed down toward Sherpatian. Sherpatian roared. He didn't use stellar transposition to evade. In this battle, Chun Wang wanted to use the most direct method to settle everything. How could he retreat? Bang! As the palm strike landed, Sure Potion's body transformed into a body of lava. His bones and blood seemed to be on the verge of melting into flames, being assimilated by Chun Wang. A look of struggle appeared on Sure Potion's face. Get down! Chun Wang waved his palms, sending Sherpatian flying off the arena platform. For this battle, Chun Wang was the victor. Sherpatian was defeated once again. If Qin Wentian defeated the black-robed figure, That would mean that he, Shirpatian, would still have one last chance to fight against Si Cheong. If he defeated Si Cheong, it would mean that he was stronger than Si Cheong, and would naturally be stronger than Zhan Qian and the black-robed figure. But if Qin Wentian was defeated by the black-robed figure, he would no longer have the qualifications to fight against Si Cheong, because the black-robed figure had been defeated by Si Cheong before. If he defeated Qin Wentian, it would mean that he would be able to defeat Shirpatian as well, and there would be no need for him to continue fighting. But no matter how one looked at it, Shirpotian's chances of becoming one of the top 3 were practically zero. And as expected, in the following battle, Si Cheong also defeated Zhan Qian. Even more so, no one believed that Shirpatian would be able to defeat Si Cheong. Shirpatian and Zhan Qian were both defeated twice in a row, causing the spectators to involuntarily sigh in their hearts. On the stage of the final battle, even someone as strong as Shirpatian and Zhan Qian had no choice but to accept their consecutive defeats. One couldn't help but to say that this was extremely cruel. Zhan Qian had prepared for this battle for far too long, yet he had already lost to Qian Wang and Si Cheong. He wouldn't allow himself to be defeated a third time, absolutely not. Shirpatian was even more miserable. Not only did he lose to Qian Wang, he even lost to Qin Wentian. He was ranked number 3 in the previous Heavenly Fate rankings, but this time around it was extremely difficult for him to be ranked number 3. Next, we'll have to see the outcome of the battle between Qin Wentian and the black-robed figure. For this battle, there shouldn't be too much of a disparity. Qin Wentian is very strong, but the black-robed figure was able to injure Si Cheong. He definitely isn't a simple character. The spectators were speculating in their hearts with regards to the outcome of this battle. What would the outcome of this battle be exactly? Would the tyrannical devil art of the black-robed figure be able to suppress Qin Wentian? Qin Wentian's attacks were also getting more and more bizarre. Would his illusory techniques be effective against the black-robed figure? When the two of them stood on the arena platform, the previously calm hearts of the spectators were once again stirred. Both of them could be considered dark horses of the Heavenly Fate rankings this time around. Qin Wentian didn't belong to any major powers, and the black-robed figure didn't even know of his identity. Now that they were facing each other, they were about to clash head-on. "Who are you?" Qin Wentian stared at the black-robed figure. Contrary to the expectations of the spectators, Qin Wentian didn't immediately make a move. Instead, he questioned the identity of the black-robed figure. The black-robed figure had helped him twice before, and with regards to the identity of the black-robed figure, Qin Wentian had always been filled with curiosity. But he had also injured Mo Qingcheng on the arena platform. Initially, Qin Wentian was filled with both curiosity and gratitude towards the black-robed figure. But after his battle with Mo Qingcheng, Qin Wentian started to doubt himself. He had to know the identity of the black-robed figure. The black-robed figure coldly stared at him, not saying a word. "If you don't speak, I will personally unveil your veil." Qin Wentian's voice was ice-cold, as the aura from his body erupted forth. "Kill me or injure me heavily. You might be able to see who I am. And if you lose, I won't show you any mercy." The voice of the black-robed figure was hoarse. In the minds of the spectators, he had never spoken before. But at this moment he actually spoke. Demonic chi gushed forth from the black-robed figure, as terrifying devil clouds appeared in the air. A series of whistling sounds could be heard as the demonic chi gushed towards Qin Wentian. "As you wish." Qin Wentian walked towards the black-robed figure, his aura towering up to the heavens. The blood in his body churned, as demonic chi gathered in his palms. A pair of wings appeared on his back. Facing the black-robed figure, Qin Wentian naturally wouldn't underestimate him. With a flap of his wings, Qin Wentian's silhouette vanished, instantly appearing before his opponent. His opponent's devil palm slammed over. Qin Wentian wasn't polite at all. With a lift of his hand, a tyrannical dragon imprint blasted out. The might of their attacks was incomparably terrifying. In an instant, the two of them collided. Qin Wentian swept his eyes over, as a terrifying will of mandates gushed into the mind of the black-robed figure. But at this moment, the devilish might of the black-robed figure suddenly vanished without a trace. Not only that, the palm imprint of the black-robed figure directly landed on Qin Wentian's chest. Qin Wentian's countenance drastically changed. Draconic roars echoed in the air as the terrifying dragon imprint slammed down. To Qin Wentian's shock, the black-robed figure actually opened up his chest, allowing the draconic roars to land on him. Boom! The terrifying attack slammed into the chest of the black-robed figure without any reservations. His black robes were instantly torn apart as his body was flung through the air like a kite with a broken string, slamming into the golden feather pillar of the Vermilion Bird Arena platform, after which, he slumped onto the ground as fresh blood flowed unceasingly from his mouth. This scene caused the spectators to be dumbfounded. At the last instant, the black-robed figure actually gave up on attacking? How could this be? What was going on exactly? Even Qin Wentian had a puzzled look on his face. He didn't understand why the black-robed figure would do this. After a moment of shock, Qin Wentian lifted his feet and walked towards the black-robed figure. The black-robed figure's black robes were already torn apart, but the veil was still there. In fact, he could even see a head full of silky black hair, as well as a pair of extremely beautiful eyes. Faintly, they seemed somewhat familiar. Who are you? Qin Wentian's heart tightened. He squatted down and placed his hand on the veil of the black-robed figure, removing it. What was exposed was a pair of extremely delicate and beautiful faces. She was very young and very beautiful. Many in the crowd stared at the face of the black-robed figure, and those who could see it clearly felt their hearts trembling in shock. How could this be possible? The black-robed figure who cultivated that tyrannical devil art was actually such a beautiful lady? Not only that, although blood flowed unceasingly from the corners of her mouth, her beautiful eyes flickered with a smile that contained traces of tears. Qin Wentian finally recognized this beautiful face. Although it had changed greatly, he still recognized it. His heart violently pounded, as he felt a twinge of pain in his heart. Why did you do this? Qin Wentian let out a low roar, as his palms gently brushed past the beautiful face, wiping away the blood from the corners of her mouth. Atone for the sins of father and sister, and say sorry on their behalf. A gentle voice sounded out from the mouth of the lady. In her eyes a smile could still be seen, a smile that was extremely beautiful. The corners of her lips trembled slightly, as she stared at Qin Wentian. Smiling, she called out, "Wentian Gidge." Chapter 385. Wentian Gidge. A melodious and gentle voice rang out in Qin Wentian's ears, permeating the air, causing time to stop. Countless bewildered faces stared at the arena platform. The fact that the user of the tyrannical devil art was actually a female had already caused them to be astonished. Not only that, this female was also extremely young and beautiful. What was even more shocking was that she was actually acquainted with Qin Wentian, and even intimately referred to Qin Wentian as Wentian Gidge. The tears at the corner of the female's eyes, the smile on her beautiful face, as well as the traces of blood at the corner of her mouth, all of this brought about a sense of poignant beauty. The crowd didn't understand, since the black-robed figure was so close to Qin Wentian, why would she still do such a thing? In the midst of the crowd, Bai Qingsong clenched his fists tightly, while Autumn Snow bit her lips as they stared in the direction of the arena platform. They hated themselves, but now they still needed Bai Qing to atone for their sins. They had told Bai Qing about the past, that Qin Wentian didn't kill Bai Qingsong for the sake of Bai Qing. Maybe because of this, Bai Qing still felt guilty in her heart, and chose such a method. But in reality, there was no need for her to do so. Silly lass. Qin Wentian sat on the arena platform, supporting Bai Qing's body up, allowing her head to rest on his thighs. Caressing her cheeks, he continued, "Do you know that doing this would only make Wentian Gidge feel even worse? If I had been a little more ruthless earlier, wouldn't I have hated you for the rest of my life?" Never in Qin Wentian's wildest dreams would he have imagined that the black-robed figure would actually be Bai Qing, the little lass who loved to follow behind him. Now that she had grown up, she had become even more beautiful than her elder sister Autumn Snow, one of the 4 great beauties of Sky Harmony City. Not only that, she was also so powerful. But in Qin Wentian's memories, she was still that innocent and adorable lass. Qin Wentian would never be able to forget that night when Bai Qingsong wanted to deal with him. Bai Qing had carried a dagger behind her father's back, allowing him to kidnap her. After so many years, this lass had once again done such a foolish thing. In that case, Wentian Gij will always remember me. Bai Qing still had a radiant smile on her face, just like when she was a young girl. Her smile was as pure and radiant as ever. Although she could transform into a powerful devil when she wore the black robes, in front of her Wentian Gij, she was still a young girl. Don't say such things. Qin Wentian glared at Bai Qing. After which, he turned his gaze to the crowd below the platform as he called out, Qingcheng, that's my younger sister Qing. Mo Qingcheng's silhouette flickered as she landed on the arena platform. She slowly walked to the side of Bai Qing as a few medicinal pills appeared in her hands, which she fed into Bai Qing's mouth. Sister Qingcheng, you are so beautiful. Qing'er revealed a mischievous smile. Sister Qingcheng, I have no ill intentions towards you. I just want to see how my sister-in-law is doing. Who's your sister-in-law? Mo Qingcheng was rendered speechless by the words of this lass. But when she saw the innocent smile on Bai Qing's face, how could she bear to blame her? This silly girl, she even dared to throw her life away just now. Then I'll call you sister. You are not allowed to be angry with me. Bai Qing smiled foolishly. Mo Qingcheng nodded her head lightly. Don't worry, why would I be angry with you? Okay, let's go down. Qin Wentian felt extremely uncomfortable as he felt the gazes of the crowd. Supporting Bai Qing up, Bai Qing's gaze shifted to the direction of the Mystic Moon Hall. Her eyes landed on a black-robed female as she bowed. Master, disciple can only reach this point in the heavenly fate ranking battle. I hope I didn't lose your face. Only now did the crowd notice that the black robes on Bai Qing were extremely similar to the black robes worn by those from the Mystic Moon Hall. So it turned out that she was actually someone from the Mystic Moon Hall. That female disciple nodded her head lightly as she calmly stated, Qing'er, the knot in your heart has been untied. The ranking battle of the heavenly fate rankings is also sufficient to bring glory to our sect. Have a good rest. Thank you, Master. Bai Qing nodded her head as she walked down the arena platform with Qin Wentian and Mo Qingcheng. The ranking battle of the heavenly fate rankings had always been dominated by the 7 great clans of Grand Xia. The majority of the participants belonged to the 7 great clans. Bai Qing from the Mystic Moon Hall, being able to achieve such an achievement was already an extremely outstanding feat naturally. Her achievements would also bring glory to the Mystic Moon Hall. The gazes of many were still fixated on Qin Wentian, as their curiosity towards him grew stronger and stronger. Qin Wentian, the dark horse of the heavenly fate rankings, had already secured a spot in the top 4. He had a beautiful girlfriend like Mo Qingcheng, as well as a beautiful and powerful younger sister. Not only that, it seemed that this beautiful woman wasn't even his biological sister. This caused the hearts of the spectators to be filled with different thoughts. Another round of the heavenly fate rankings had ended. Chen Wang defeated Shirpatian. Si Qiong defeated Zhan Chun. Qin Wentian defeated the black-robed figure. Perhaps it couldn't even be considered a battle. Following which, the black-robed figure voluntarily withdrew from the heavenly fate rankings, no longer persisting. On the heavenly fate rankings, the name of Bai Qing from the Mystic Moon Hall appeared in the number 6 position. Next, it was time for the 2 losers, Shirpatian and Zhan Chun, to battle. Shirpatian was defeated by Chen Wang and Qin Wentian, while Zhan Chun was defeated by Chen Wang and Si Qiong. This meant that as long as Shirpatian defeated Zhan Chun, there would be no need for Zhan Chun to continue fighting against Qin Wentian. He would directly be ranked number 5, while Shirpatian would obtain the qualifications to challenge Si Qiong. And if Zhan Chun defeated Shirpatian, it meant that there was no need for Shirpatian to fight against Si Qiong. Shirpatian would be ranked number 5, while Zhan Chun would obtain the qualifications to challenge Qin Wentian. After Old Man Tianji made the announcement, he allowed them to rest for a period of time. As for the ending of the battle, the spectators couldn't predict it. Shirpatian and Zhan Chun had both lost 2 battles. Between the 2 of them, who was stronger? Both of them had lost to Chen Wang. As for Shirpotian's defeat to Qin Wentian, it was because of his speed. Zhan Chen's defeat was because Zhan Chun didn't have an advantage in other aspects, but when it came to soul attacks, even if his golden body was indestructible, his soul would still be destroyed. When Shirpatian and Zhan Chun appeared on the arena platform, an intense battle intent radiated from them. They had already lost 2 battles in a row. They absolutely couldn't afford to lose again. If they lost again, they would directly be ranked number 5 on the heavenly fate rankings, and if they won, they would still have a chance to fight for the number 3 position. For this battle, the conviction of the two of them was incomparably strong. Sure Potion's physique grew even more violent as his primordial demonic bloodline erupted forth. His body transformed into a gigantic boulder, containing a towering might. Sure Potion's offense and defense could be said to be one of the most fearsome existences on the heavenly fate rankings. Yet in his first battle he was defeated by Qin Wentian's speed and divine inscriptions, and in his second battle he met Chen Wang. Zhang Qin's countenance turned sharp. He could feel an intense sense of threat emanating from Sure Potion. We can't afford to lose this battle. It was unknown how terrifying Zhang Qin's eyes were, but at this moment he actually closed his eyes. His lips trembled, as though a terrifying energy was awakening within him. A wondrous sound wave permeated the air, containing an incomparably majestic energy that enveloped Zhang Qin. Zhang Qin actually has a secret art? The hearts of the spectators trembled, after which, astral light cascaded downwards, landing on Zhang Qin's body. Boundless golden light flashed as Zhang Qin's body was bathed in it. The sharpness he exuded grew stronger and stronger. Ancient will summon, Zhang Qin murmured, after which, his entire body trembled violently, and at the instant he opened his eyes, a beam of golden light could be seen flickering in the center of his brows. His eyes grew even more demonic, giving the spectators a feeling that his eyes no longer belonged to a single person, but rather contained the brilliance of two people. It was incomparably terrifying. Borrow the boundless golden yuan punishment. Around Zhang Qin, a fearsome golden light shimmered. Step by step he advanced towards Sure Potion. Every single beam of golden light he exuded contained the power of punishment, unparalleled might. Pong! Sure Potion stomped his foot on the arena platform, stepping forward. The strength he exuded was also incomparably terrifying. Yet at this moment he actually felt an intense sense of danger from Zhang Qin. Zhang Qin also stepped towards Sure Potion. Every step he took caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Demonic chi and golden light enveloped the entire arena platform. The power of punishment felt as though it wanted to penetrate through Sure Potion's body. Roar! Finally, at the instant the two of them neared each other, Sure Potion unleashed his strongest attack. A gigantic golden dragon roared as the silhouette of a terrifying primordial demon manifested. This strike of his seemed capable of destroying the heavens and earth, flattening the mountains and rivers. Zhang Qin similarly unleashed his own attack. Boundless golden light converged together to form the power of punishment, blasting forth with his body, destroying everything in its path. Pung 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 pung. The terrifying light of punishment exploded apart, but it seemed as though there was no end to it. Cracks gradually appeared on the surface of the golden dragon, and finally Zhang Qin pierced through it with his golden Punisher sword. The golden dragon broke apart, and a deafening rumbling sound echoed out as Sure Potion's armor exploded apart. A sword pierced through his chest bit by bit. Boom! A thunderous sound rang out as Sure Potion's body was flung through the air. The sword had penetrated through his chest, causing fresh blood to flow out. The spectators watched on as Sure Potion was flung through the air, falling off the arena platform. Zhang Qin stood at the edge of the arena platform, his aura fluctuating violently. He closed his eyes as the terrifying energy he was radiating gradually retracted. Zhang Qin had won. He had used his attacks to clash with Sure Potion and he had won. However, it seemed that even Zhang Qin wasn't able to easily control this energy. When Zhang Qin opened his eyes he slowly turned around, gazing in the direction of Qin Wentian. Although he had lost 2 battles, he would still be able to obtain the 3rd ranking. Staring at Zhang Qin's gaze, the spectators couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. Qin Wentian, this dark horse, was about to come to a halt. Zhang Qin would do the same thing he did to Sure Potion, disregarding everything else to control that terrifying energy. After the conclusion of this battle, the next battle would be between Zhang Qin and Qin Wentian. Chen Wang and Si Qiong. If Zhang Qin defeated Qin Wentian, he would be able to obtain the 3rd ranking, while Qin Wentian would be ranked 4th. As for Chen Wang and Si Qiong, it would be the final battle. Naturally, if Qin Wentian was able to defeat Zhang Qin, he would be ranked within the top 3, contending against Chen Wang and Si Qiong for the top 3 rankings. However, the spectators who had just witnessed this battle all felt that Qin Wentian wouldn't be able to win. Qin Wentian was very strong, but Zhan Chun had defeated Shirpatian head-on. This was something only Chun Wang had accomplished before, and now Zhan Chun had also accomplished it. Most probably, the battle between Chun Wang and Si Qiong would be the final battle. Chapter 386. There were only 2 more matches remaining in the Heavenly Fate rankings. As long as Zhan Chun defeated Qin Wentian, the final battle would be between Chun Wang and Si Qiong. Chun Wang didn't disappoint the crowd. He managed to reach the very end. However, his opponent wasn't Shirpatian or Emperor Azure, but the strongest dark horse, Si Qiong. The strength of this dark horse was so terrifying that it was as though there was nothing he couldn't do. He was proficient in all sorts of ultimate arts of Grand Xia, and what he was most proficient in was soul attacks. There was no way to counter such attacks. There was no one who wouldn't fear him. Si Qiong seemed to have no weaknesses at all. Not only that, the spectators didn't know how magnificent the flames would be when Chun Wang and Si Qiong clashed. Chun Wang, the most anticipated opponent. Si Qiong, the most terrifying dark horse. In the air, Old Man Tianji stared at the remaining 4 contenders, his gaze lingering on each of them for a brief moment. The fate of Grand Xia was about to change starting from the Heavenly Fate rankings. He had always believed that a demonic star would appear on the Heavenly Fate rankings. Shirpatian and Emperor Azure were both demonic cultivators. However, both of them had already been eliminated, failing to live up to the expectations of everyone. Only Qin Wentian had slaughtered his way up until now. If it was really him, Qin Wentian would definitely be able to influence the fate of Grand Xia in the future. Would he stop here today? For the next 2 battles, Zhan Chun versus Qin Wentian, Chun Wang versus Si Qiong, Old Man Tianji slowly spoke. His gaze landed on Zhan Chun as he asked, "Zhan Chun, are you willing to continue? I need to rest for a while." Zhan Chun looked at Old Man Tianji as he slowly spoke. Old Man Tianji nodded, as he glanced in the direction of Qin Wentian. After which, he spoke, "Since this is the case, let the battle between Chun Wang and Si Qiong begin first." The spectators were all stunned when they heard Old Man Tianji's words. The battle between Chun Wang and Si Qiong would begin first? This battle might very well be the final battle of the Heavenly Fate rankings. Originally, it should have been ranked last. Why did it have to be started first? In the ranking battle of the Heavenly Fate rankings, it was usually reserved for the final battle. There were very few exceptions. Earlier, when they saw Zhan Chun's trump card, many believed that he would be able to defeat Qin Wentian, becoming the number 3 ranker of the Heavenly Fate rankings while Qin Wentian was ranked number 4. In that case, Chun Wang and Si Qiong would be the final battle. The Elder of Heavenly Secrets had actually brought forward the decisive battle. Many people didn't understand, but since the start of time, the authority to decide the Heavenly Fate rankings had always been in the hands of Old Man Tianji from the Venerate Heavens sect. The blazing rays of the sun cascaded down onto the arena platform. Chun Wang and Si Qiong walked up, basking in the sunlight as they attracted the attention of countless spectators. Today, who would become the most dazzling figure in the Heavenly Fate rankings? Was it Chun Wang or Si Qiong? Your strength isn't bad. Although I don't have much interest in the Heavenly Fate rankings, since I'm already standing here, the number 1 position naturally belongs to me. Si Qiong stared at Chun Wang as he calmly stated. It was as though the number 1 position was already in his bag. In the previous Heavenly Fate rankings, I was ranked 2nd. Today, the position of 1st shall belong to me. Even if it's you, you won't be able to block my path. Chun Wang similarly stared at Si Qiong, exuding a domineering aura. He was Chun Wang. He wanted the number 1 position in the Heavenly Fate rankings. He had been waiting for this day for a very long time. Since this is the case, let's talk with our strength. Si Qiong was extremely calm, as though nothing could cause his heart to waver. Chun Wang's body began to combust. Under the sunlight, he was bathed in flames. His blood, bones, and his entire body transformed into a body of fire. His 3rd astral soul, the strongest astral soul, was released. Above his head, a great sun venerable appeared, fusing together with the sun, causing the terrifying temperature to engulf the entire arena platform. It was as though anyone who dared to approach him would die, burned to death by the flames of the great sun venerable. Si Qiong similarly released his 3rd astral soul. It was a terrifying evil soul that had a pair of soul-stirring eyes, capable of causing the souls of those who stared at it to waver. Pung! Pung! Astral light erupted as both of them used stellar transposition at the first instant. In an instant, the two of them collided in the middle, so fast that the spectators couldn't even see where they had appeared from. A terrifying palm imprint of flames blasted out, wanting to annihilate everything. The scorching heat caused the water vapor in the air to evaporate, emitting a terrifying sizzling sound. Si Cheong's left hand stabbed out, instantly forming a shield of light. Chun Wang's flaming palm imprint slammed downwards, sinking deep into the shield, as though it had slammed into an incomparably soft mirror made of water. This was none other than the power of Si Cheong's mandate of water. Other than soul attacks, he was also proficient in the mandate of water. Only during the final battle, when he was fighting against Chun Wang, did he finally unleash his full potential. Pung! The water shield shattered as the terrifying flames caused it to explode. The temperature of Chun Wang's palm was too terrifying. It continued blasting towards Si Cheong. However, Si Cheong had already bought enough time to counter with a finger strike. The soul annihilation finger. A single finger strike could annihilate a soul. Split! Chun Wang spat out a cold voice. In an instant, Chun Wang's body split into three. One terrifying flame god after another appeared, each of them resembling a fiery god of war that had just emerged from magma. Such a scene caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. Number 1. Chun Wang wanted to be number 1. This was Chun Wang's true strength. He had been concealing it all this time, and only now did he unleash it all. Si Cheong was similarly terrifying. He only unleashed his full potential during the final battle. The three flaming bodies simultaneously rushed towards Si Cheong. The two flaming giants beside him exuded an aura so powerful that it was terrifying. They were at the pinnacle of Yuanfu, and were on the verge of breaking through to Yuanfu. Si Cheong stared at Chun Wang's silhouette in front of him. With a wave of his hands, a water shield appeared, trapping the flaming giants within. Si Cheong's movement technique was extremely terrifying. He unceasingly moved about, blasting out beams of finger light towards Chun Wang, wanting to destroy his soul. Speed. Si Cheong's speed is also so fast. Speed, soul annihilation attacks, water shield defense. Si Cheong simply has no weaknesses. The spectators couldn't help but to exclaim in admiration. Even Chun Wang was being suppressed by Si Cheong's soul attacks. Finally, with a howl of rage, the two flaming bodies merged together with Chun Wang's original body. Chun Wang's body grew larger. It was as though he had truly transformed into a flaming war god, exuding an aura that transcended beyond Yuanfu. Indeed, Chun Wang already had the ability to break through to Heavenly Dipper. It's just that he was suppressing it, waiting for the end of the Heavenly Fate rankings before he broke through. The current Chun Wang is already equivalent to a Heavenly Dipper sovereign. The hearts of the spectators sighed. This was too shocking. Chun Wang's astral soul had already fused together with his body. No one doubted that Chun Wang would break through to Heavenly Dipper the moment the Heavenly Fate rankings ended. Not only that, based on his attainments in the mandate, once he broke through to Heavenly Dipper, his speed wouldn't be any slower compared to those who had already broken through to Heavenly Dipper. Hence, Chun Wang didn't lose much by waiting for the Heavenly Fate rankings. On the contrary, he had gained quite a bit. Chun Wang, who was now one with Si Cheong, erupted with lava flames. His palms blasted out once more as a gigantic flaming palm imprint covered the entire space in front of him. Si Cheong soared up into the air, his palms slashing out as a prison of water appeared. His silhouette shot towards Chun Wang, his 5 palms striking out at the same time, aiming for Chun Wang's head. Roar! Chun Wang opened his mouth and spat out flames, after which the flames abruptly solidified, causing the space in front of him to solidify. Even the water screen was about to solidify. Si Cheong was actually trapped within. You've lost! Chun Wang roared as he slammed out with his palms. Si Cheong's body was flung through the air, and at the instant the flames exploded, Si Cheong's countenance turned pale. This strongest dark horse ultimately didn't make it to the end. He was defeated by Chun Wang. However, this battle at the pinnacle had truly broadened the horizons of the spectators. This was the Heavenly Fate rankings this time around, so powerful that it caused the spectators to feel stifled. Si Cheong stood up staring at Chun Wang. Drawing in a deep breath, Si Cheong calmly stated, "You indeed have the qualifications to contend for the top spot in the Heavenly Fate rankings. Congratulations on obtaining the first position." Chun Wang's countenance turned calm as he inclined his head, staring at the skies. "You're already very strong. After this battle, I'm afraid I'll need to rest for a long period of time before I can fully recover." "It's not easy to obtain the first position," Chun Wang calmly stated. The spectators inclined their heads and stared at the arena platform as they sighed in their hearts. This battle at the pinnacle was truly fascinating. Chun Wang truly deserved to be the first. Has the Heavenly Fate rankings already ended? A discordant voice abruptly rang out, filled with doubt. The gazes of the spectators shifted over, only to see Qin Wentian floating in the air, staring at Chun Wang and Si Cheong. The two of them kept on referring to themselves as the top ranker, as though the ranking battle had already ended. Chun Wang glanced at Qin Wentian, as a look of disdain flashed in his eyes. "Count yourself lucky that you didn't encounter me this time around. Don't tell me you want to fight against me in your current state?" A mocking smile appeared on Qin Wentian's face. "If that's the case, I can ask Senior for permission. I don't mind blasting you off the platform." Chun Wang furrowed his brows. His current state wasn't very good. "Ridiculous," Chun Wang icily replied. "Ridiculous." A demonic light flickered in Qin Wentian's eyes as he coldly stated, "The ranking battle hasn't ended yet, and the top ranker has yet to be determined. How shameless can you be? If you were to be defeated, wouldn't you be throwing away all your face?" As the sound of his voice faded, Qin Wentian was already standing on the arena platform. The powerful purgatory vermilion bird hovered behind him, its eyes gleaming with a terrifying sharpness as it stared at Chun Wang. Qin Wentian quietly stood on the arena platform, demonic qi billowing out from him. This scene caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble, as they felt that it was extremely interesting. This Qin Wentian hadn't given up yet. He still wanted to fight for the top spot. But although he wasn't bad, if he wanted to contend against Chun Wang, he still had to defeat Zhang Chun and Si Cheong first. "You're truly confident." A voice drifted over. The spectators only saw Zhang Chun stepping onto the arena platform, coldly laughing as he stared at Qin Wentian. "Finally, we're face to face. This time around you better think about how you're going to survive." Qin Wentian also stared at Zhang Chun. This was someone he had to defeat no matter what. Regardless of whether it was for the top 3 rankings, or for the promise he made to Amo Qingcheng, as long as he defeated Zhang Chun, everything would be accomplished. "Where does your confidence come from? It's been so many years, yet you're still at this level of strength." Qin Wentian mocked. "Is that so? At the very least, with your current cultivation base at the 8th level of Yuanfu, do you really think you can contend against me?" The sharpness in Zhang Chen's voice grew denser and denser. The person he wanted to defeat and kill the most was none other than Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's demonic eyes stared up at the skies as the corners of his lips curled up. When he turned his gaze back to Zhang Chun, the aura he exuded exploded forth in a frenzy. Taking a step forward, a terrifying demonic aura gushed out from his body. The energy he exuded seemed to be boiling as a raging wind swept across the area. "Who told you that I'm at the 8th level of Yuanfu?" Qin Wentian roared. The instant his foot landed, the aura of a cultivator at the 9th level of Yuanfu gushed forth, gushing towards Zhang Chan. Chapter 387. 9th level of Yuanfu. Qin Wentian's cultivation base wasn't at the 8th level but rather the 9th. Chun Wang, Si Cheong and Zhang Chun had all been concealing their true strength. Qin Wentian, on the other hand, had been concealing his cultivation base. Only at this moment, when everyone thought that the victor had already been decided and the curtains of the ranking battle were about to fall, did he step out. Only now did the spectators realize that before this, no one had been able to force Chun Wang and Si Cheong to use their full strength. Similarly, no one had been able to force Qin Wentian to use his full strength. At this moment, the spectators couldn't help but to recall the arrogance Qin Wentian displayed when he fought against Emperor Azure. He was absolutely confident that he could defeat Emperor Azure in 10 breaths of time, because he knew that his cultivation base wasn't at the 8th level but the 9th. When did he step into the 9th level of Yuanfu? At this moment, a question popped up in the minds of the spectators. When the ranking battle started, Qin Wentian was definitely at the 7th level of Yuanfu. There was no doubt about this. He was forced into the cave by Chen Wang, and after he came out, he was already at the 8th level of Yuanfu. But when did he step into the 9th level? Not only that, it hadn't been too long since the Heavenly Fate rankings had started, yet Qin Wentian had already broken through 2 levels. Although the geniuses of the Heavenly Fate rankings had all undergone some transformations, Qin Wentian's transformation was still too terrifying. Mo Qingcheng and Bai Qing stood together. At this moment, Bai Qing had already removed her long robes, revealing her graceful and beautiful figure. Every time the spectators saw her, they would all sigh in amazement. They didn't dare to believe that such a beautiful woman would actually cultivate such a tyrannical devil art. Wentian Gige is so powerful. He's actually at the 9th level of Yuanfu. He promised that he would defeat Zhang Chen. He would definitely do it. Mo Qingcheng had a smile on her face. It seemed like her limit break pellets weren't wasted. As long as Qin Wentian defeated Zhang Chen, her master Luo He wouldn't obstruct him anymore. Those from the White Deer Institute couldn't help but to exclaim in admiration. Never would they have imagined that Qin Wentian would be able to reach this step. Not only that, he was only a single step away from achieving what they wanted Qin Wentian to do. Although Zhang Chen had a terrifying secret art, would Qin Wentian, who was at the 9th level of Yuanfu, be defeated? For some reason, although Qin Wentian was facing Zhang Chen, no one was optimistic about Zhang Chen's chances. Everyone's confidence was all placed on Qin Wentian. Naturally, they had reason to believe in Qin Wentian. When Qin Wentian was at the 8th level of Yuanfu, he was able to conceal his true strength. This indicated that he had been suppressing his own strength in the earlier battles. Now that he had broken through to the next level, all the power he could erupt with would be amplified. This was a power that was completely under his control. It wasn't a secret technique. Zhang Chen, what do you have to fight me? Qin Wentian's voice was ice cold as he lunged towards Zhang Chen. When you were at the peak of Yuanfu, I was only at the low level of Yuanfu. You aren't even qualified to stand with me on the arena platform. Zhang Chen's countenance stiffened as he stared at Qin Wentian. How did he do it? He actually broke through to the 9th level of Yuanfu? This caused Zhang Chen to feel an immense pressure bearing down on him. If he was defeated by Qin Wentian, what glory would he have left? His goal was to slay Qin Wentian on the Heavenly Fate ranking platform. Chen Wang didn't understand. He remembered that Qin Wentian's cultivation base was at the 7th level of Yuanfu. When did you step into the 9th level of Yuanfu? Chen Wang coldly asked. Qin Wentian swept a glance at him. The coldness in his eyes was as cold as ever. I have to thank you for hunting me down. If not, I wouldn't have been able to step into the 9th level so quickly. Chen Wang had chased Qin Wentian within the Vermilion Bird Formation grounds, forcing him into the cave. After which Huafeng, Sitipa, and Yang Fan waited for him outside the cave, humiliating him and even insulting Mo Qingcheng. Qin Wentian's rage towered to the heavens, and in a fit of rage, he was prepared to consume the limit break pellet. At that time, his Yuanfu started to rumble, showing signs of breaking through on its own. Hence, Qin Wentian endured it. He didn't consume the limit break pellet at that time, relying on his own strength to break through to the 8th level of Yuanfu. After which, he impatiently barged into the cave and slaughtered Orphan and the rest in the most tyrannical manner possible. As for how he broke through to the 9th level of Yuanfu, it was because he had entered the cave of the demonic divinity sacrificial transformation, and had also consumed the limit break pellet. Qin Wentian didn't reply to Chen Wang's question. He stared at him for a moment before coldly replying, let's hope that you, the top ranker of the Heavenly Fate rankings, will be able to last until the end. If not, you will lose face in front of the entire Grand Xia. Do you really think that just because you've broken through to the 9th level of Yuanfu, you have the qualifications to contend against me? Disdain flickered in Chen Wang's eyes. How could Qin Wentian's breakthrough in cultivation be able to shake his position? Let's finish the battle with Zhang Chen first. You can fantasize about it later. To me, it doesn't matter if you hide your cultivation or not. Chen Wang, who was standing beside Qin Wentian, slowly spoke as he walked down the arena platform. He needed to recover his strength. Earlier, he had paid a heavy price to defeat Si Qiong. Currently, the astral energy in his body was almost completely depleted. Si Cheong flicked his sleeves as he similarly walked down the arena platform. In the blink of an eye, only 2 people remained on the arena platform: Zhanshan, Qin Wentian. Would this battle be the final battle for the heavenly fate rankings? As long as Zhanshan won, the ranking battle would be over. Before Qin Wentian revealed his strength at the 9th level of Yuanfu, the spectators initially thought that this would be the final battle. But now they couldn't help but be filled with anticipation. Maybe the heavenly fate rankings would continue. I've already thought of a way to survive, why haven't I acted yet? Qin Wentian stared at Zhanshan. Earlier, Zhanshan's arrogant words made Qin Wentian think carefully about how he should survive the upcoming battles. Zhanshan's body was clad in a golden armor. His lips trembled as he closed his eyes, summoning the will of the ancient. Vizi. A raging wind gusted as a pair of wings unfurled on Qin Wentian's back. His silhouette abruptly vanished, and with a speed akin to lightning, he instantly appeared in front of Zhanshan. With a single palm strike, the entire space trembled as the roar of a dragon shook the heavens and earth. Zhanshan abruptly opened his eyes as he slashed out with his sword. However, under the terrifying might of Qin Wentian's attack, his sword was completely destroyed. Boom! An immense force slammed into Zhanshan, causing him to be flung through the air. His countenance paled as he coughed out fresh blood. Strength. This was an absolute suppression of strength. With his cultivation base at the 9th level of Yuanfu, Qin Wentian's astral energy was condensed into an attack. In addition to his mandate of force and mandate of demons, the power of his attack was unimaginable. Just a single strike had caused Zhanshan to spit out blood. Zhanshan floated in the air, his sharp eyes staring at Qin Wentian, his countenance ashen. Don't tell me you think that I should just stand here and wait for you to use your secret art before we fight? An intense killing intent flickered in Qin Wentian's eyes, piercing through Zhanshan's own. This battle is a battle of life and death. As the sound of his voice faded, his silhouette vanished once again. The third eye in the center of his brows swept past Zhanshan as a terrifying will of mandate gushed forth. The golden light radiating from Zhanshan's body grew even more intense as a ruthless light flickered in his eyes. At the instant he closed his eyes, a surge of energy that didn't belong to him pulsed within him. No matter what secret art you have, you won't have the chance to use it anymore. A voice directly penetrated into Zhanshan's mind. At this moment, Zhanshan could already see Qin Wentian's tyrannical palm strike gushing towards him. Lifting his hands, he slashed out with his sword. However, Qin Wentian transformed into a myriad of illusory images that attacked him. Zhanshan's sword slashed out in a frenzy as the aura emanating from him grew increasingly terrifying. But at this moment, not many people were paying attention to Zhanshan. They were all staring at Qin Wentian. Because Zhanshan's sword slashed out in a haphazard manner while Qin Wentian quietly stood in the air, his eyes gleaming with a hint of playfulness. This caused the spectators to be filled with disbelief. Was this really a battle between Zhanshan and Qin Wentian? Why was there such a dramatic turn of events? If one's heart is in chaos, how can one's will be so firm? How can one differentiate between reality and illusion? Qin Wentian mumbled. Zhanshan's strength wasn't so weak, but fear had already filled his heart. Hence, when Qin Wentian unleashed his second-level mandate of dreams, the mandate of dream will, Zhanshan naturally believed it to be real, unable to differentiate between reality and illusion. This was similar to the time when he fought against Sherpadian. He used his speed to unleash frenzied attacks, but in the end, Sherpadian was enraged and frustrated. After that, Qin Wentian didn't attack, only unleashing his will. Yet, what he saw was still a sky full of attacks. The mandate of dreams was even more tyrannical compared to the mandate of illusions. It could cause one to sink into a dreamscape, unable to extricate themselves. A raging wind gusted by as Qin Wentian's silhouette vanished once again. Zhanshan's sword slashed down, but in that instant, he seemed to have sensed something. A terrifying light flashed in his eyes as he stared at Qin Wentian. "Your life, I'll take it." A cold voice rang out. Qin Wentian violently blasted out with a palm strike, causing the entire space to tremble violently. The spectators froze, only to hear a deafening rumble as an incomparably violent force destroyed everything in its path. Zhanshan's body was destroyed, and his head exploded. Qin Wentian, in the most tyrannical manner possible, killed Zhan Chen. Just like what he said, Zhan Chen's life was taken by him. In the Heavenly Fate Rankings battle, the Heavens Chosen of the Pill Emperor Hall, Zhan Chen, died in the hands of Qin Wentian. Such a scene was too shocking to the spectators, causing their hearts to be unable to calm down. In the air at the place where Zhan Chen died, a golden orb could be seen flickering with a strange light. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed with a cold light as he grabbed out with his palms, causing a terrifying energy to envelop the orb. BZ. An intense struggle erupted forth from the golden orb, causing Qin Wentian to snort. This should be the reason why Zhan Chen was acting strangely. Back then, the gold element ancient scroll he had tossed away wasn't anything good. Extinguish! Qin Wentian's finger landed, as a scream of agony rang out in the air. Instantly, the golden orb was destroyed, vanishing without a trace. The expressions of the spectators froze as they witnessed this scene. Even the experts in the hallway narrowed their eyes. That golden orb seemed to have a life of its own, and Qin Wentian didn't hesitate at all, directly destroying it with a single finger. Qin Wentian's decisiveness was terrifying. Just like when he killed Zhan Chen, he didn't hesitate at all. He had a grudge with Zhan Chen, and if he wanted Zhan Chen to die, he wouldn't hesitate at all. He only knew that Zhan Chen had to die. Hence he killed him. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.